The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, when they drop that bomb. Crawl out through the fallout with the greatest of aplomb.
Hey, welcome to Podcasserole. It's Jay Patrick. You know what I'm going to do? A little something different is give you our contact info right at the top. You can send us an email, adamandjp@gmail.com, or tweet at us at adamandjp. So, I guess this is another safe at home episode of Podcasserole, where in a couple of minutes you're going to hear me call Adam, and we're going to chat for a few minutes and then play a classic. You know what I might do, though? Maybe I won't do it on this episode, but I would really like to do, because I was sitting here and years ago, back in the late 90s, like between 98 and 2000, I worked at a station, Q108, in Clarksville, Tennessee. And on Friday nights, we would do what we called the Friday Night 80s Mix Fest. And it was just an 80s request show from, 7 to midnight during the warm weather months, like the summer months. We would do 7 to midnight, all 80s, all request. And then on Saturday nights, we did 70s. We did Saturdays, 70s on Saturday, something. A Saturday night 70s. Saturday night 70s, that's what it was. It was a Saturday night 70s show. And then on Sunday, we did the 90s. And same format, just requested songs of the decade from, but that one was only like 2 hours because it was at the end of the 90s. So technically we were still in the decade that we were playing the music from. So that got me to thinking it might be fun to do some version of that while we're doing these weird COVID-19 episodes. And I would like to do it on Facebook Live, because I think doing it on Facebook Live would be fun, because then you can do the interaction and you can actually do the request. But then I understand if I did it on Facebook Live or even streamed it live on YouTube, there's a chance that the audio would just get dropped at some point, because like one of the songs, the ID would get flagged, and the algorithm would shut the audio down. So I don't know if I can do, I don't know how I could do it live. But how about this? Let's do this. I'm recording this on Friday night. This will come out on Saturday. I think we're going to do more episodes. So over the next few days, let's start with the 80s. So if you like 80s music, if you don't like 80s music, sorry. If you like 80s music, send us an email. Send me a request. adamandjp@gmail.com. Adam and JP, all one word, @gmail.com. Send me your 80s request. And then one of these at-home shows that we're doing in the next few days, I will turn into an 80s request song. Because if you don't request the song, then I'm just going to play the ones that I want to hear. And then I'll release it on the stream as a podcast. We still may play around with some Facebook Live stuff. And I feel honestly like working at home, I work more than when I'm at work. Definitely more productive than when I'm at work. But the last couple of weeks have been extremely busy. But I think maybe that would be fun to do, is to do some version of that 80s request. And if that works, then we'll look at the 90s and maybe even the 70s. And then the 2000s. We could do 2000s. You know what? Let's start with that. Scratch the 80s. 2000s. Let's start with the 2000s. Between 2000 and 2010. Email your request. And then I'll do an all request part of one of these episodes, or full episode, depending upon how popular it is. But do the email so I make sure I see it, because if you tweet it at me, I may miss it. So send me your emails. adamandjp@gmail.com. Send me your request. We'll start with the 2000s. It has to be between 2000 and 2010. So it can be top 40, pop, rock. Don't get all hipster and I want to hear Hobo Jones and the sounds of the railroad from 2005. It was a vinyl exclusive. I don't know. Like, keep it somewhat mainstream. So we all know the songs that are requested. So how you doing? Crazy times, right? And I know that's kind of been the theme over the last few weeks, but it just gets crazier and crazier. But that's okay, because we're going to make it through it. We're going to make the best of the situation. I do think that this has allowed us to do more podcast roll episodes. I know I've already recorded phone calls for 2 episodes. One of them will be tonight with Adam. And then if you're familiar with our buddy Brent and Whitney host the Broken Token podcast. It is a pinball and classic arcade collector podcast. I had a long conversation with Brent last night. I only wanted to talk like 25 minutes. We talked for an hour. I'm gonna release that this weekend. So this comes out on Saturday. You can look for that on Sunday. I think we're doing some more phone calls over the weekend. So we're just going to go with this. We're just going to take advantage of the situation. You should be at home. You should only be going out for like groceries and stuff and then going home. Stop this going to visit with other people and hanging out and going to restaurants. I don't care if you think it's overreacting, but you should be staying at home because that's what we're all doing. We're all staying at home, working at home, and unless you have one of these jobs that is an essential employee, and that would be the people that work in the grocery stores and the convenience stores and the pharmacies, as well as the first responders and the police and the fire and the doctors and the nurses and the home medical specialists. And those are the people, man, this is the time to recognize the people in those delivery people, food delivery people. How appreciative are you of the people in all those fields I just mentioned? They are like the heroes now. Not that they weren't before, but I think it's taken something like this for the general public to recognize how important these people are in our day-to-day lives when everything else gets shut down but the essentials in most of the country. And I know there's a lot of the country where it's kind of business as usual in some towns, but where we are, it's shut down. There's nothing going on. We're all at home. We're just hanging out here, waiting this thing out, hoping it turns around sooner than later. But no matter how long it takes, and no matter how dark it seems, and how stressful it is, and the uncertainty of not knowing, especially when it comes to finance and jobs and the economics of it all, and then there's the whole, could I get this, or someone I love get this? We will make it through this. We will make it through this. Before we get to Adam, though, I want to do something to bring a smile to your face because it always brings a smile to my face. Before I play this, let me set it up for you. Imagine drive-through, nondescript car. Inside that nondescript car, someone wearing an ET mask, but doing a Stone Cold Steve Austin impression. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Stone Cold ET.
This is Stone Cold ET, and I just want to order a couple White Castles to go.
So sorry, can you repeat that again?
I said Stone Cold ET would like a couple cheeseburgers and maybe a drink, and I'd like to get out of here as soon as possible, and that's the bottom line.
Hey, do you want to pull up? I can't understand anything you're saying, please.
Okay, you want Stone Cold ET to pull up what side? This is Stone Cold ET, and I want to order a couple cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line. Cause you know Stone Cold ET like to come to White Castle, order a couple cheeseburgers to fill me up before I whoop some ass. Give me a hell yeah if you're down with Stone Cold ET. Oh, hell yeah! Cause Stone Cold ET likes whooping ass. When Stone Cold E.T. rides a bicycle, I ride it long, I ride it hard, just like the Texas rattlesnake when he's done whooping Vince McMahon's ass. Give me a, oh, hell yeah. What'd you say, E.T.? What? What'd you say, E.T.? What? I said I want to order 2 cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line. Cause no Stone Cold love a little White Castle burger with a little onion, with a little meat on it. Cause there's nothing like Stone Cold Steve Austin eating those little White Castle burgers. You know Stone Cold like a little White Castle action. Well, I'm busy fighting off aliens when I'm busy being a crap out Will Smith in Independence Day or beat him up in iRobot. Stone Cold E.T. is gonna whoop some ass. Give me a hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Stone Cold E.T. is gonna whoop some ass. And that's the bottom line. Hell yeah.
No matter how dark it gets, the light at the end of the tunnel will always be Stone Cold E.T. After we have our conversation with Adam, we're going to feature a classic episode. We're going to go back to episode 100. Now, if you're keeping track at home, this is technically episode number 378. So we're going to go back all the way to 100, which, if my math is correct, should be summertime 2015 or spring 2015. That we had episode 100. So we're going to go back a few years. And our first big milestone of 100 episodes, we'll feature that following our chat with Adam. Well, hello, Adam.
Oh, hey there.
Once again on the phone.
All right, yeah.
Taking the precautions.
It's the new thing, the new new quarantine cast. That's how we do. But it's not just us. If you listen to the majority of podcasts, going today, they're doing the old style, the old Skype sound, or worse, like we're doing here.
Yeah, I was reading earlier tonight that Ira Glass, the great Ira Glass from This American Life, is actually recording his show in one of the closets of his house now.
Wow.
Has a little mixer and a mic and records in his closet.
Yeah, it was odd. The first few days, if you listen to actual talk radio on FM and AM stations, they weren't ready for it yet, and it sounded pretty Skypey, and they were using maybe their cell phones or a low quality USB mic to do it. But now, as time has went on, the setup is probably still the same as far as positioning in their house or kitchen or bathroom, but they have much better quality. So it's weird to think that most talk radio stations are just coming from people's houses now. It's so strange to think about.
Yeah, our morning show was doing, we'd gone in because they're also on TV, which is tough. And there's so every morning on TV, they're all in this studio together. Uh-huh. And so at the end of last week, I was like, well, we've just got to separate everybody. So we moved 2 of them to a larger area where they could separate and have, the 6 feet or whatever between them. Uh-huh. And so we were doing the morning show from 2 locations. And then in our state, we have a 14-day, in Tennessee, it's not mandated. Basically, suggested. Yeah, it's suggested, highly suggested. So we're doing this 14-day, stay-at-home thing. And so when that happened, I pulled most of the rest of the air staff. We have our afternoon show. She is actually recording some stuff at home and sending it to me, and I'm just kind of dropping it in from home. And so once I was able to clear out, and at night we're just running a lot of archived programming. And so once I was able to clear basically everyone else out of the studio, we kind of went back in, was able to reposition for television to separate everybody within the studio to stay within the guidelines, sanitized it. And so our morning show is going back in to the one studio now every morning. But the point of that, very long story, too long. I'm very, very tired, is the fact that half of the programming day, I'm actually kind of programming from home day to day, which So I see all this stuff like what people are doing to fill the hours while they're at home, and I just work more, which I guess is okay because it passes the time.
Yeah.
So how are you passing the time?
Video games, I guess, I have the usual.
Yeah.
Of course, the work and, my schedule's weird. But my daughter's school is out with all the sickness and stuff, of course. So she's the focus during the day. But Animal Crossing just hit the Switch this week, a huge release. As far as I saw the numbers, it had one of the biggest releases in the Switch's history. So it's kind of a big deal.
Well, I was talking to our friend Josh, formerly of the podcast Collection Connection.
Right.
And he was telling me that Switches are going for like $500 a pop
because
on eBay.
Specifically, because of the release of Animal Crossing. That such a big release. It was kind of the perfect storm for it. Animal Crossing is it had some hype to it as it was, but tenfold. That everyone is like locked in their homes with nothing to do at all. So, it's a weird setup. I won't go into too many details, but to play the perfect way to play this, if you have multiple people in the house, each person needs their own Switch system, as dumb as that sounds.
Yeah.
So we went today to look for that, of course, online. And as you said earlier, they were average $500. Some are $550, $650. That's insane.
So what were the Switches retailing for before now?
$299.99.
That's not
normal one.
Wow. That's pretty good markup.
Yeah, it's almost double for a 3-year-old console. It's unheard of before. And specifically because one game came out this week. I've never seen it happen. Like I said, we've never really seen this kind of scenario before in gaming. But Perfect Storm made it happen.
Are you watching anything? Are you listening to any new podcast?
Just the usual podcast. We have our usual local people I like to support, of course. We have just the usual I've talked about before. We have Blame Your Brother, of course. Don't miss out. Those guys are doing interesting things. They do their usual. Of course, they're being quarantined as well, and they're going Skype style. But throughout the week, Debrew, he's doing his own quarantine sessions. So he'll call up people, kind of like what we do here, but with just random listeners for 15, 20 minutes and get their take on it. It's interesting. It is.
You know how much I hate webcams.
Right, yeah.
And now part of my day is taking up with a lot of Teams meetings, Microsoft Teams meetings. So we're doing that. So I have to be on camera. So now that I've had a couple of weeks to get used to it, I'm considering, and I almost did it tonight and then was working so close to us recording that I didn't do it. But maybe next week, maybe next week, I'll go on and do some Facebook Live stuff.
Nice, yeah.
So when we do this next week, maybe I'll put you on Facebook Live.
Yeah, that works.
We'll broadcast live, Adam.
Yeah, we have that. I can't get too many details on that, but my trivia boss called me last night. We spoke for a bit, and we're trying to go. For him, I don't want to give his details out too much, but that's his main job. So he was making very good money one day, and then the blink of an eye, he was making $0. So it's kind of a scary thing for him. So he's been brainstorming. We spoke last night, and we're gonna kind of throw out some ideas the next week or so, like doing some trivia streams. And it sounds odd and impossible, but I think he has found a way to do that. So I'll let you know how that goes. That'll be interesting.
Well, without going into too much detail, so kind of put it behind a paywall.
Pretty much, yeah. Like an entrance fee to even play.
Yeah.
Of course, that pool goes to the winner. And really, the idea behind that isn't, of course, to make money, because that's would still be impossible. But the point is to kind of keep that trivia buzz and flame going, because in theory and in hope, this shouldn't last too much longer, weeks, months, tops, hopefully. We're fingers crossed on that. But,
I don't want to, I don't want to turn this into the Rona cast, because I think we're so in it.
That's the main thing.
I know.
Not to be that.
But, and first of all,
every single thing you do all day is centered, at least for me, I'm doing it because of the coronavirus. Be it like where I am or what's going on, or every single thing I do, every meal I eat, every poop I take, everything. It's all the thought of it is with that coronavirus.
It's so weird, We live in such a advanced technological time, and it's almost like those alternate history diatribes, like What if Twitter had been around during the 1800 or the plague of 1918? Well, now we see exactly what that would have been like.
Right. Yeah.
So
I see goods and bads for being in the modern times. We'll see.
yeah, I think speculating on a timeline is probably premature right now.
Yeah. Like I said, it could be weeks, months, or God, I hope not years. But
Because it seems like everything that I see says that we are still in the early stages of this around the country. But though I did just see before we started recording that America has the most cases of this in the world now.
Yeah.
So yay, America.
Yeah. Which is odd. I was doing some numbers crunching on that. When you have a chance, go look at Russia's numbers. I don't know what they did, but that's insane.
Well, not be honest about what's really going on.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
I would expect that from a communist, not communist, a Chinese-led country, the way they do things, but not Russia. I'm not giving props to Russia. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like they'd be a little more open than China. I don't know.
No, I think China is more open than Russia is these days.
Really?
Oh yeah. I think in Vladimir Putin's Russia, like half the population could be gone right now, and we would never know.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think that's what's happened, but it's in Russia and it's more prevalent than we know, and we'll ever know, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the interesting stories that will be post this is what really happened in Russia during all. Because honestly, dude, how is it everywhere else in the world and not Russia?
Well, it's in Russia, but as many people as they have, and just the percentage is way, 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 way down.
Right.
I'm looking at the map right now, like an up-to-date map. South Korea, you have an idea of how big that is geographically-wise. That has, in the past 7 days, they've had over 1,000 new cases of coronavirus, right? South Korea.
Right.
A small blip on the map. Now, Russia, huge. What I would say, land-wise, the biggest country in the world. Am I wrong in that?
I think mass, it is the largest.
Yeah, it looks like it here on the map. And they've had but they've had between 10 and 100 new cases in the past 7 days. Between 10 and 100. Yeah. And South Korea has had over 1,000.
Yeah.
So keep that in. That's insane to me. I don't know. Of course, U.S. is over 1,000 as well. U.S., it looks like France, Spain, Germany, Iran are doing pretty rough. It looks like in the past 7 days at least, China and Italy are kind of topping off. So that's good, I guess. Australia's kind of in the middle there. Brazil in the middle. Africa seems pretty unaffected so far. So that's interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is good because Lord knows they've had their cases of outbreaks in the last few years.
Yeah, and they're kind of saying, it depends which side. Sadly, I think this whole thing being politicized is kind of dumb. But depending on what side politically you stand, the Trump camp is saying that I don't want to mispronounce the name, but that generic malaria drug. They're saying in the lab tests, they're saying it's being pretty effective towards that. The people on the left are saying not so much. But I mean, I don't want to choose sides, but looking at the map on Africa, which I would assume most people in Africa are either taking or have been taking this general malaria drug. I mean, I don't know. It seems the numbers don't lie, right? If you look at the map of the world, Africa by far, they're in the middle of it all. They should be infested with it, but they have some of the lowest numbers overall. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Or is there something to the Ebola vaccine?
Right. That's true.
That could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I think anything that ends this and gets us back to just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to think. Man, you know what I really missed 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss
laughing at the people that would use sanitizers on their shopping carts. I miss those days. Like, weirdo. Now I'm like number 6 in a line of 12 to do it myself.
Hey, I'm still, if I go, and I think since the last time we've talked, I've been out in a store twice and wore rubber gloves both times.
Did you really?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because the guy in front of me had rubber gloves on. I think, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Maybe this had happened since.
Well, it's one of those things like it can be on your hands all day. Just don't transfer it to your hole.
Yeah, no, I touch my face all the time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big face toucher.
I have kept my sanitizer in the. If that's the case, though, won't the sickness stay on the gloves? And if you touch I don't want to scare you. Never. I'll stop talking.
No, because when you take the gloves off, you peel them off inside out, and then you sanitize your
Right.
hands right after you take the gloves off.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
I guess I'm missing like the same as if you didn't wear gloves and still sanitized. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a point here. I would think if you have the gloves, touch your face. It's the same as having no gloves and touching your face.
Oh, I don't
right?
touch my face while I have the gloves on. It's a good reminder not to touch my face.
Oh, so it's like a barrier to show. Okay, I
Right,
gotcha.
right. And then when I leave, peel the gloves off inside out, throw them away, and then sanitize my hands
Yeah, that's
with the little bit of hand sanitizer that I have left in the car.
so much waste going on in this country now. I told you. I guess we could have a little. We're still waiting on the test results, but as you know, my wife got tested a few days ago, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she got some paperwork, right?
Yeah, the official deal sent home and kind of a minor quarantine for that. So, that test process seems pretty interesting. I won't say too much detail to make people afraid to do it, but if you have the symptoms, go do it for sure. But as she said, everything is one-time use. They walk in there, put on they walk in with the protective suits, the nurses and doctors, full head-to-toe coverage. They do what they need to do with her, and then before they leave the room, they rip it off like a Prince costume change, and they leave the room. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to think every time they do that.
They roll in like the government showed up in E.T.
Exactly.
They're just rolling plastic down the street.
Yeah. Did I give the details on the test, how it works? I mean,
Well, it's like the
bit
flu
different.
test, but it goes higher, right?
yeah. And so she said the Q-tip itself was a little bit longer, it seemed, than a flu test because she had that a few weeks ago as well, the flu test. And it's a little bit thicker in diameter. And so it goes back much, much further, way past where the flu test would go, and has to hold there for 5 seconds. It's got to stay there for 5 seconds, and they yank it out. She's had many flu tests, but that was pretty painful, pretty rough.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Well, I think that pretty much seals the deal on whether you had it or not.
If she does, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
And so now we're back to, can we use your antibodies to create a vaccine?
You act like I'm the only survivor.
Adam, well, you're the only survivor I know. I'm pretty sure I know 3 other people that have it. They just can't get tested yet, so they're still fighting it.
Don't quote my numbers, but I think they just passed the 100,000th fully recovered person from it. So, and that's of the people that have even gotten tested to show they've had it to recover. So it's probably closer to 1 million, honestly.
Yeah, but think what it would do for our subscribers.
Is that what we should do?
If you donate your body to science right now.
Wait, don't you have to die first?
No,
I think you have
right
to die
now.
first.
I mean, all they need is, look, maybe they'll need some spinal fluid. That's a little painful.
Yeah.
But
It can't be some other kind of sample, like I don't know.
like a poop.
no, like a sperm sample or something.
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to think deep here.
They're not trying to clone you.
I mean, that's not a bad idea if I have the antibodies to do it. Make more of me. Make more of me, then use their bodies for science. How about that? I give you full scientific clearance to use my clones for whatever you want to do.
Oh, now see, that is an interesting discussion.
Yeah, like multiplicity for science.
If we could clone you, and it's a clone of you. I mean, but shouldn't that clone have all the same rights that you have?
Oof, that's a tough one.
That's what I'm saying. It's a question of ideology. Is ideology? Is that the right word?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Or a moral. It's definitely a moral conundrum.
That's true.
If we found out that by cloning you, we could save other people by killing your clone, is that wrong?
That's tricky. It's the same for maybe like a possible android. If we made androids so realistic that pretty much had everything but an actual heartbeat, had emotions, actual real skin, everything. Would you feel bad about taking that down to save the world with an android?
Well, I mean,
that looked just like a person but just didn't have a beating heart and blood. What do you think? Had emotions, memories, thoughts, everything.
Yeah, well, was it South Korea? Where I think it was South Korea a few years ago, where the android was created and then given citizenship.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Like one day, will robots have the same rights as humans?
I would think so.
I think that's why you have to be nice to them to avoid the singularity.
Right. Yeah, I would think so.
Better be nice to your robots, to your Roombas.
Yeah, right.
Be nice to your Roombas.
Yeah. This map is scary, though. It's still right in front of me. It's interesting. We're, of course, in the red. The U.S., like I said, Spain, France, Germany, Italy, the U.K., and Iran are the only reds right now in the past 7 days, which means 1,000 plus new cases.
Yeah.
Now, is that from? I mean, honestly, do you think it's possible the continent of Africa isn't as readily available for tests as we are? You know, I feel like here, especially with social media and the technology spread, every single person not only knows about it, but is possibly afraid they have it. And that may not be the same fear in Nigeria. You know what I mean? It's possible.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I think testing is a reason why you probably don't see it as prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
However, back to your original question, like talking about the what was the vaccine for malaria? Yeah,
Right, yeah.
or not? But it's the drug to treat malaria. Is
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
same drug they give you if you come back from a country where there might be malaria, and so then you take
Not
this medication?
sure. Not sure, to be honest. I'll kind of check that out.
Or
before I talk.
no. Wait a minute. I think if you're traveling abroad, then you can get this malaria medication in the event that you get malaria.
Right.
I think that's what it is. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If it works, absolutely, we need to fast track that, but we need to make sure it works first.
Chloroquine or chloroquine is the name of that.
Yeah. That's the one that the guy died this week taking,
Right. Yeah.
thinking it was going to either treat it or prevent the Rona.
Yeah. Interesting.
But
It can be prescribed for either the prevention or the treatment of malaria
oh, got you.
by prescription only. Available in the U.S. I'm sure across the world it's different things, but yeah.
So then maybe you do take it before you visit a country where malaria is a possibility.
There are only a few places left in the world. This is from the CDC.gov website, by the way. I'm not on NPR or Breitbart, so don't worry.
Wait, InfoWars? Is this from InfoWars?
Yeah, right. There are only a few places left in the world where chloroquine is still effective, including parts of Central America and the Caribbean, depends how you say that. CDC keeps track of all the places in the world where malaria transmission occurs and which malaria drugs that are recommended for each place. That's interesting. So it seems like that has mutated, malaria has, to kind of not be so affected by that.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
Hey, you know what I think another threat that we don't talk about enough?
What's that?
The Zika virus.
Right.
I think the Zika virus has just as much likelihood to have this kind of outbreak and pandemic as this does. And the Zika virus is a yearly threat.
So this is interesting. As you may have forgotten, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with psoriasis, like the skin issue, right?
Yeah.
There's one list on here of people it says on the CDC website, who should not take chloroquine. The only person, it says people with psoriasis should not take chloroquine. Interesting, huh?
So you can't get malaria.
Interesting.
Whatever you do, don't get malaria.
Right. Interesting. I've got to look that up now. That's kind of a fear, huh? Or maybe that it's possible because of that. Maybe if I did have corona, that's what made it kind of balance. I don't know. There's so many questions here. That's weird.
Wait, you think you were genetically predetermined to be able to fight the Rona, is what you're saying?
Well, so what psoriasis is, it's an immune issue, but not so much of a lowered immune issue. What psoriasis is, I didn't find out until I was diagnosed with it, it's your body over-healing itself. And so my body at certain spots thinks I have a cut, and so it will grow extra skin on top of that to heal, but therefore there's no cut. So it's almost like my body is healing itself too much. So I almost think this chloroquine makes your body fight out, like raises your immune system. So if you have psoriasis, you may just go in like immune overload.
So why didn't you go to Charles Xavier's school for gifted children?
That's a good question.
It sounds like you're an X-Men.
That makes it sound much cooler than what I thought. But yeah, you're right.
It does. My body overheals. You're Wolverine.
That's what it is, yeah. So if you looked it up, and that's the actual cause of it. Your body is over-healing itself. Like I said, that it's putting layers of skin on top of layers that are fine. Like if you have a cut over time, new layers of skin, they create themselves on top of that. My body's confused, like, oh, we're just going to heal anyways on top of this patch here, bam, there, and there. If you've seen psoriasis, patches without medicine are kind of, flaky, weird little things. That's just extra skin on top of skin healing itself. Is what it is. Weird, huh? So I wonder if that's weird. The one group of people that can't take it have psoriasis. That's interesting, but yet scary. I wonder why. I'll have to look into that. Interesting.
I'm so excited to learn that you're a mutant.
Right.
Look at you, mutie. So, you know what I've been thinking a lot about
What's
the
that?
last couple of days? At the beginning of Endgame, Avengers Endgame.
Right, yeah.
When they're dealing with the post-snap world.
Uh-huh.
And Captain America, is kind of, he's part of that group. He's hosting that group. What's the word? Counseling group.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And one of and I think it was one of the directors of the film. He's like, I miss baseball. I feel like that's the world we're living in.
Wow, it's kind of true. Yeah, you're right.
I know. He goes, I think what he said was, we really miss the Mets. We really miss the Mets.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I really miss the Braves because they should have started playing today. I should have spent the last week getting ready for opening day of Major League Baseball, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, the sports part of it. I've been a big soccer fan for years, been looking forward to this National SC MLS debut of Major League Soccer.
You got what, 2 games?
We got 2 games in.
Yeah.
And both of those were losses, by the way. So we're, we're pretty much 6 weeks or so into the MLS season with no wins yet. That's fun. Yeah, that's bad luck right there. So much money lost, not just in sports, but as we said last week with Disney World and everything. It's
everyone.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's like when we were talking about the trivia thing earlier, and I asked you if they were going to put it behind a cash wall, and you said or a paywall, and you said there might be some payment. Hey, look, if it makes you money, and part of your income before was hosting trivia, and then you make some money hosting virtual trivia, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
I don't think it's insensitive to, in the times that we're in to say, hey, I still need to make money. I think we're all there.
You see it often on social media. You have so many artists, musicians, everyone doing a live stream. And, as they should, they'll have their PayPal, their Cash App, their Venmo up. If you like what you're seeing, throw some pennies my way. I think the people that can should do that. I think, we should help the neighbors. I'm not saying that as someone who needs that, but I think if people have the extra, especially when this big package, the big check comes in a few weeks here, I think the people that aren't hurting financially and still have their money coming in should help the ones that are, because there are quite a few people that are hurting, I would think.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I found out today that the CEO of the company I work for, which is a hospitality company, gave up 50% of his salary.
That's awesome.
He gave back 50% of his yearly salary.
Wow.
Just, one, to put some money in the kitty, and two, it's kind of like a sign of solidarity.
Right.
Yeah. I really feel for, it's so weird. It's like, as this thing has gone on, and I think even if you go back and listen like a couple of weeks ago, there's a hint of maybe this isn't as bad or it's not going to be as bad here as it is anywhere else. But regardless of the number of cases and that whole set of numbers, how this is affecting people's lives financially is no joke.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. If there are, artists or creatives or even organizations that are trying to help different areas of our society, like the hospitality workers or the service industry workers or, Uber drivers or, just all these people that make money through various gigs. And now with one fell swoop, all those gigs went away for who knows how long in most of the country. Because even though Nashville and Davidson County and the state of Tennessee is on a safer at home for 14 days and it's not mandated, the restaurants aren't open. You know, the bars are all closed. You know, everything's locked up. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I totally support the independent giving that you can do with the live streams or the the organizations that are popping up to kind of help some of these people that are suddenly found themselves to no fault of their own without income.
Yeah,
I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, and it's showing kind of behind the curtains, you know, how well or how unwell certain companies were doing. I mean, we've seen now, we talked about it off mic. I won't blast them like that, but quite a few companies or restaurants locally are closing down. And that's after, you know, less than 2 weeks of not even totally shut down, but pretty much a curbside service only or takeout. And that kind of shows if within 2 weeks, if you're having to lay everyone off and file bankruptcy, that you probably weren't in a good shape to begin with. You know?
Yeah, you weren't very solvent.
Compare that to Starbucks right now. Of course, they're doing drive-through and curbside pickup only, but about 10 to 15% of stores now don't have drive-through. They're cafe-only stores. So for those stores, they have totally closed those up. But as of right now, all those workers are getting paid 40 hours a week as if they were there working. So that kind of shows, you know, like a Starbucks standing compared to a you know, some random hot chicken place.
Yeah,
you
you're
know
right.
what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah, it's good and bad to show that. That money talks like that. It's weird. Like a 10 to 12 day difference can just make or break your company.
I think one of the chains that it shut down is I'm pretty sure Shoney's is shut down after this.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like we'll see what Waffle House. They're having some issues too. I thought the world loved Waffle House, but maybe they don't.
Yeah.
They just closed. I think it was 2 days ago. They closed every single store. I think at least in the South. I think it's a whole. We have a Mason-Dixon Waffle House war going here, but yeah, most of them in the South are closed up totally, and in the upper of the country, the northern side there, they're kind of still open. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what Waffle House does. I don't know.
Before you go, have you watched Tiger King at all on Netflix?
Yes, I've heard so much hype about it. Watched 15 minutes of it last night, and then I was like, I'm going to stop this. I'll wait for my wife. So I watched 15 minutes of the first episode, and I will continue probably tomorrow. This weekend we'll binge it and knock it out. I'm excited.
Holy crap! What a crazy story.
Yeah.
Man,
interesting.
Like, do you know anything about the story as you go along? Because I've got one episode left to watch. The final
Not
episode.
too much. I've only watched the trailer, which didn't tell too much, and then the first 15 minutes of the first episode. So that's all I've really seen.
This will take you in places that you do not expect.
That's what I hear, and I'm ready for it. Like it's entertaining so far, but I'm curious what everyone's talking about. You know, I've had people tell me it's the craziest thing they've seen, and I know for a fact they've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
like, what's happening?
It's so wild. And it's all about like, big cat collectors.
Right.
Basically,
yeah.
that's the common thread through all the characters in this.
Which seemed like it's spawned from a guy trying to do a documentary about like snake collecting at first, right? At least he was in a snake, like a venom barn pretty much. And he goes to the parking lot and sees a guy with a snow leopard in his 100-degree car.
Look, Adam, at one point you're going to see that you're watching a documentary that was kind of filmed while somebody was doing some other production. But at the same time, they thought they were shooting a reality show. It's
really,
it's crazy. Like it's almost like Game of Thrones-esque, and almost needing a chart
whole
to keep
family
up.
Tree of these big cats.
Yeah, and they're not families per se. I mean, but they're definitely like it's kind of hard to keep up with the narrative of this and everything that happens in what seems to be a pretty short span of time. No, 5 or 6 years, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he said early on, the documentarian.
Yeah. So,
my question is, as it would be a dream of mine to do something like that. Of course, not that scale, but that kind of project. How do you, without knowing, I would imagine he made this and then pitched it to multiple places, and I would assume Netflix picked it up. But you're pretty much working, spending your own money, making zero profit, I would imagine, for 5-6 years. I mean, does he have backers before that? I mean, it seems like the story developed as he went along. So did he get backers and investors from a snake handling documentary, and things just snowballed that. I'm really curious in the process behind that. Maybe no one else cares, but I'm curious.
That is a very curious question to ask. I would like to know the answer to that myself.
Yeah.
But okay, well, I know you have schoolwork to do.
Yes.
So do you have any requests? We'll do this every week. Do you have an episode that you would like to hear?
I don't this week, but next week I'll have one queued up for you. I'll have one next week.
Yeah. So last week,
your choice.
Last week we played one of our Christmas episodes from a couple years ago with Brooke K. Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
And I think she was on for 2 weeks. Maybe we'll play the second week of that one.
Yeah, that works.
Or maybe I'll go back further and see what else I can find.
Now, do we have plans to bring on other guests throughout the next few weeks here?
Here's what I think I'm going to do. Because Lord knows this could go on a while.
Right.
So I think what I'm going to do is we have this episode where I've chatted with you, and then I think I'm going to have another conversation with a friend of ours that I won't say. Well, I've already told you off air.
Yep.
And so maybe we'll do that as an episode coming out within the near future. Maybe right after this one, next day. I don't know. Josh from Collection Connection, formerly of Collection Connection.
Like he still has that mantle after what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, the podcast has been over forever. So Josh is going to come on Saturday. So maybe depending upon your availability, you could be on with Josh too when we record that.
Yeah, let me know. I'd like that.
Yeah, and I'll just start calling around and see who I can talk to.
It's like Darius Rucker at the Opry. Darius Rucker, formerly of Hootie and the Blowfish. How do you think Darius would take that?
You and me. Well, they just released a new album.
Hootie did?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. Like within the last...
Made no sense because it kind of is of Hootie and the Blowfish. Wow, I didn't know that.
The last 3 months or so? Hootie and the Blowfish came out. They shipped it to country.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't do much.
Wow.
But
I mean, clearly I had no idea that even happened. Wow. If I knew about that, I'd be kind of hyped and kind of pumped.
So have you watched any of these celebrity artist live streams that have been done?
Quite a few.
What are some of your favorites?
Oh, man. What have I watched? Honestly, I'm it's kind of my gimmick. I'm not a country music fan, but I watched the Brad Paisley, and that was fantastic, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a really good artist. I mean, he's good. If you like country or not, which, I'm in other camp there. But, he's great. He's a fantastic guitarist, very emotional. The songs he did were great. So honestly, that one kind of stood out to me. Not really a live stream, but I'm not a lot of people know this. I don't think I kind of found it randomly, but at least for the past, I want to say 3 or 4 seasons, Austin City Limits has put their whole archive of shows for free online.
Oh, that's cool.
I was on their site a few nights ago. They have, the full hour-long concerts of everything from Willie Nelson to Billie Eilish to the Raconteurs to Ed Sheeran. It's all in there for free. It's hour-long, high-definition, multi-camera shoots. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They do good work over there at Austin City Limits.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in a long, it's sadly one of those things I have nothing else, but Austin City Limits is on. But honestly, there's some really good stuff to be found on there. It really is.
I enjoyed the live stream of the Grand Ole Opry last Saturday night.
Oh, that is okay.
Nice. Brad Paisley was part of that.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm. It was Brad Paisley, Vince Gill, and Marty Stewart.
Really? Okay.
All together for a full hour.
Huh.
Let's see. I enjoyed Garth Brooks' live stream.
Oh, see, I missed that. I heard about it. Didn't it crash the internet or something?
Yeah, pretty much. I enjoy what Ellen has done over the last couple of weeks.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Where she just randomly calls her friends.
I like that. A lot of it, Jimmy Fallon, a lot of the late night hosts are doing stuff from their homes with their families involved. They're Skyping artists.
Yes.
It's been fun to watch.
I watched Jimmy Fallon with, the guy who, from Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Yep. I watched that one.
Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying some of the safer at home live streams that are happening. And then coming next week, possibly, the Podcast Roll live stream.
Yes. Hopefully so.
Where you could just watch me call up Adam and do this.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I want to set expectations at a reasonable level. You'll see me sitting behind a microphone with my cell phone on top of a coffee cup to keep it at a level where Adam can hear
you can go fancy for a few bucks. You can get that, the stand on Amazon with the circle light and stuff. Make it fancy.
Oh, is that what you like, the fancy TV light?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
How much is that?
10, 20, 30.
Like, I guarantee you, if we want this over fast, let me start buying stuff to prepare to do this for a while. Because I guarantee you, as soon as that light gets in the mail, they'll be like, "Oh, it's all over. Everybody go back. Everything's normal."
That's what we're kind of connected story there. Like I said, my trivia man, my boss called me last night. We brainstormed for like an hour and a half of the live stream. And he got to put me in charge of looking for proper mics and video stuff. I know a little more about that than he does, granted. So I go on today to do some research for that, for best webcams under a certain amount of dollars. And if you want to have a good laugh, go on Amazon right now or any online site and look for any kind of webcam. For some reason, every webcam is bought.
Yeah.
And if it comes back in stock, it's like middle to late April. I'm like, wow. And stuff like that, we're looking for one, you and I are looking for one, and I guess that's just a big thing happened. Like, I mean, there were honestly no webcams under and we weren't going for cheap. We're talking like under $150 is what our budget was, and I could not find one on Amazon that was deliverable in Prime. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. I know it's pretty much a first world problem, but that kind of shows the shift in the sway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 30 days ago, that you could buy anything in the world on Prime, and now I'm trying to search down a $300 webcam, and I don't know where my next roll of TP is coming from. It's crazy. It's insane.
Twice now. I've almost bought toilet paper. I've seen toilet paper in the cart coming out of the store, and then when I go in, it's not there.
Oh, I thought you said you saw it in the wild, like you saw it to grab.
No.
Wow.
No. I've been walking into the store, and someone was walking out with toilet paper in the cart, and then by the time I get back to the aisle, it's gone.
Wow.
I'm wondering if they're not even putting it on like if I ask somebody like, hey, you got any TP in the back? Maybe they'll go get me a roll. Slide them a 10.
Yeah.
While it's still worth something.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, you go get ready for your big test.
Okay.
And we may or may not chat again for the internet. I mean, you and I can chat anytime you want. But
right.
We may or may not chat again for the podcast soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, well, happy quarantining.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
There's a rumor going round, got a clear out of town, yeah, sounding like a driving storm. Here come the law, gonna break down the door, gonna carry me away once more. I never want it anymore.
So now we checked in with Adam. He's all good. He's staying healthy. We know he's well. Let's move on to our classic Adam and JP episode. Don't forget to email me your request, adamandjp@gmail.com, and we will do a request show of some type on some platform very, very soon. Hopefully within the next week. But now, let's go back to 2015 for our classic episode 100 of what was then the Adam and JP show that would become, just a few years later, Podcast Roll.
Anymore, can I take it anymore? Gotta get away from the storm, crazy, stone cold crazy, you know.
Are you ready to rock?
Initialize sequence.
What is this, some kind of sick practical joke?
Whoa, yeah! I bet that pizza tastes good.
This is where the world of pop culture and talk collide.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
I'm a little bit frightened of you, and I like the feeling.
This is the Adam and JP show.
Adam and JP show.
Groovy.
I love geeks.
Josh Whedon said that Hank Pym won't be in Age of Ultron at all.
Not even a reference?
That's what it said.
It just even seems just like from a cross-promoting standpoint, it would make sense to have him in that movie.
You would think so.
Yeah. So you finished Daredevil.
I did. Oh, man.
All 13 episodes. What'd you think?
Fantastic. You weren't such a big fan of the last episode.
No, see, that's a misconception. Because I vividly remember saying I give the series like an A or an A+.
Right, yeah.
And like a B for the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found it predictable.
Right.
I kind of knew what was going to happen. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Because it's still,
still freshish.
Right.
Yeah.
But I knew what was going to happen.
Really? I didn't really. There's I won't spoil it. Never mind.
What'd you think of the suit?
Of Daredevil suit?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't like it? Really?
It looked a little, I don't know,
Really?
like patched together or something.
Well, it
I don't
was.
know. I know it is, but and it's realistic like that.
Yeah.
But
And where he
or
says-
maybe I just got used to him, as Matt Murdock.
Really, I was
Ninja.
It's still fresh because it was a few hours ago, but I was geeking out hardcore.
Yeah, when you saw him for the first time.
I was like audibly, making a scene.
And they changed his name to
Yeah.
what were they calling him? Something Devil,
I think
right?
he's the devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, the devil. Yeah, now he's Daredevil.
And they actually had like an artist rendering on the front page of the newspaper the day after. It was like a comic book. It was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It's a fantastic series.
Yeah.
You said your favorite show ever.
Well, I mean, one of for sure. I mean, it's kind of
No, your text said best show ever.
Yeah, I know. That was at the moment, but yeah, it's definitely one of my top 5 ever.
Yeah.
And so ask me in about a month, I'll let you know for sure. But I mean, I loved it.
Right.
It was great. It's hard for me to get into those crimey kind of movies.
It is very, and see, that was what I was worried about you
Yeah.
watching it because I'm like,
Yeah.
when it starts getting into this Law and Order type
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
like there was one episode that was pretty much a cop show,
Yeah.
or a Law and Order episode,
Right. Yeah. A few of those in between there. But when I mean, just the cinematography of it, the script, the set. I mean, everything just kind of makes up for that. Just the way the movie's shot, or the show was shot, is fantastic.
That fight scene in episode 2,
Yeah. Oh, that's
the hallway fight scene,
stand out for me.
that could be one of the best fight scenes.
Really? Yeah.
Let's see, what should I say? Kung fu movie fight scenes,
Right, yeah.
ever shot.
Yeah, I would say episode 2 or the last episode for me were my favorites.
Right.
Yeah, I like those a lot.
Avengers.
Right.
Now we're not gonna talk about Avengers this week.
No,
because we're seeing it.
Because we thought about waiting until after we see the actual movie to do the episode here and talk about it.
Right.
But I think this episode is a special episode. This is episode 100.
That's true. We are on 100.
We are 100. So the focus should be on that celebration.
That's true.
Not the Avengers, which is a big deal. But next week, hopefully the rest of the world has seen it by then. If you're not going to see that movie in the first week, odds are you may not ever see it.
And we're going to spoil the hell out of it.
We should spoil the hell. Yes, we'll give you 7 days to see that movie.
Yeah, you're put on notice right now.
Right. You have a 7-day homework assignment to see Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. At least, we'll say at least twice. Go see it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next week,
we'll talk all about it.
Come this time next week.
We'll have a good time and talk about it.
I don't want to hear the tweets and the emails when I spoil what happens.
Right.
And we'll give you a warning next week, too.
Yeah.
But just be forewarned.
Right.
We will spoil Age of Ultron
Go
next
see
week.
Spend $12, $15, wherever it is where you live.
$100, whatever
no
it
big
takes.
deal. Yeah.
2 movie tickets, $30.
And we saw the cheaper version. We didn't see the 3D. We didn't see the IMAX 3D. We saw the Big D because we love the Big D.
And I don't mean Dallas. You only come to the theater for one thing, and that's the Big D.
But $15 a piece.
Yeah.
Man. Don't judge me. I'm so excited. I think I may lose sleep tonight.
It's possible.
I'm excited.
I'm just hoping we make it through tomorrow. I hope I don't die tonight.
That would suck, man.
That would suck, wouldn't it?
Man.
Like, I have a coronary sometime around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
If I die before Civil War, I'm going to be pissed. My favorite comic story of all time, and I die before the movie, I'll be pissed.
I think we have to make it to the next Avengers movie.
You think so?
At least.
Yeah, at least Infinity Wars? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm afraid, if I had to guess.
The Infinity Wars, you know what that's about?
If I had to guess, I don't want it to happen, but I think that may be the slump of when it falls. Because as much as we love riding this high horse and this rocket to the moon, the rocket's got to fall back to Earth eventually.
I don't think it does.
It's just going to keep going past the moon?
I think, well, it may run its course, but I think, like, my heart tells me 6-7 years left.
Yeah. Which is about, it's a few years after Infinity Wars.
My fanboy says maybe 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And then, I think it's probably going to slump whenever this current cast is no longer in the movie.
Because I looked him up today 3 weeks ago, almost exactly 3 weeks ago, Robert Downey Jr. turned 50.
Right. So he only has a few. But that's okay.
A good-looking 50-year-old, let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he plays a 40-year-old all the time. I just saw a movie a couple of weeks ago, The Judge, where he was clearly playing a 40-year-old.
Right.
A bit of a weathered 40-year-old, but a 40-year-old nonetheless. So,
but turned 50, isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yeah, he's and especially considering the life that he's lived.
Exactly, he's doing good. Yeah. Doing for that. So yes, next week, spoiler heavy on the podcast.
Just a warning.
Yeah.
So you better go see it.
Right.
Or you're going to be disappointed.
Do it.
Last weekend, we had a bit of an Adam and JP fundraising.
We did, didn't we?
We had a yard sale.
We still don't want to talk about what it was for, do we?
No.
Is this still a secret?
It's still a secret.
Okay.
Yeah. Until, everything's in place.
Yeah, right.
And we're ready to roll.
Yeah.
I want to keep it a secret.
But that being said, I think it will be a fun secret for all.
I think so, too.
I'm excited for it.
It should be exciting.
I'm really pumped for it.
And I hope we do it longer than a month.
I think if we
this will be an awful lot of work.
Right. It's a lot
for
of
like a month of fun.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, just out of the blue, 2 weeks ago now, I was like, we should have a yard sale next weekend.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of stuff together. Josh got a bunch of stuff together. You got a bunch of stuff together. And we had a yard sale at my house last Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we did.
We hung out more in my garage. Actually, that's where we've probably hung out the most since I've moved to this town.
Probably true, yeah.
Is in my garage.
Yeah.
But we did spend just basically 2 days in the garage.
We did, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was fun, though. It was a lot of wheeling and dealing, wasn't it?
And you're not comfortable with that.
I don't like it.
Like, you had a guitar. An actual guitar for sale.
Yeah.
And you were wanting at least $50.
It's an actual guitar. I don't think people understood that part, because every time I tell them a price, they would be physically blown back by the pain of the price of $50.
Oh, $50? Yeah, because you had a nice observation about how in a yard sale setting, like, the currency is so much different.
Dollars are, I mean, it's a different kind of currency.
Yeah.
I mean, a video game is $60, and if I like it enough, I don't think twice about it. But an actual working electric guitar means, it's just, $50 is a bad deal to them.
Yeah.
When in actuality, the guitar's worth $300 or $400.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Oh, not $50.
What?
Is this for a video game?
And you had a funny observation yourself, where especially older Southern men like we dealt with this past weekend.
They think that they really believe they are smarter than they actually are. Because I've got a lawnmower. Mm-hmm. Last summer, the lawnmower stopped working.
Yeah.
So I bought a new one. And I couldn't get it started. And I'd actually run over some stuff. So
no big deal.
I kind of knew what was wrong with it. But I couldn't get it started. And so last summer I was like, well, I've had this, 2 or 3 years. I would like to buy a new lawnmower. So I bought a new lawnmower last summer. So I've had the old one, out in the backyard shed for a year now. So when we decided to have this yard sale, I pulled it out and I'm like, okay, even if you just wanted it for parts, it's at least worth $20.
Yeah, it's a lawnmower.
So I'll put $25 on it. Mm-hmm. And I'll just push it out there, put a big sign on it that says $25. This old man comes up. And what just makes me laugh very hard inside is they think they're doing some sort of Jedi mind trick on you. Because he comes up and he's like, "This mower run?" And I go, "It didn't start last time I tried. That's why I'm selling it for $25. I don't know if it runs or not." All right. Can we try? Yeah, we can try. It started up.
Wow.
The mower actually run. Now, a lot of black smoke bellowed out of it, but it still started up. So he stopped it, and he's looking around, and he's like, "I tell you what, I'll give you $8 for it."
Wow.
I was like, "No, I'm not going to do $8. I'll do $20." And he's like, "Bah, bah, bah." And then so he's like just looking at it, and he ties his dog up to it.
What?
Because he had a dog on a leash. And so he wrapped like the dog leash around the lawnmower so he could look around. I'm okay. I think that dog's big enough to pull that mower. So I go off and I'm helping other people. And he's still, walking around the lawnmower. And so then he says something, and he's like, "Well, this thing's junk." I'm like, "Okay, well, then don't buy it." I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Okay, that's fine. If you don't want it, that's fine." And then I go back to helping some other people. And he goes, "I tell you what, I will give you $10 right now and take this off your hands." So he thinks he's going to do me a favor by taking the piece of junk lawnmower and giving me $10. Like, I'm going to fall for that?
Yeah. What a nice guy.
Thank you, kind old Southern gentleman. Thank you for taking a lawnmower that doesn't run and giving me $10. That's not what happened. I was like, no, I'm not going to take $10 for it. Sorry. So he left. Next guy to come along, look at it, paid me $20 for it.
Nice, yeah.
I got 20.
Nice.
I had it marked for 25. I wanted 20 for it for a lawnmower that doesn't run. And that's what I got. I got $20.
Nice.
So I don't understand how they think. I mean, does that clearly he had other stuff on the truck, so
yeah,
I guess it had worked at previous yard sales,
right?
His whatever,
right? Yeah, old men love big old appliances at yard sales. Mm-hmm. They do.
I sold a washing machine.
Yeah, he did,
but it ran fine.
Yeah, some old men.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sold the guitar for what, $45 I sold it for, which is fine. I mean, to be honest and fair, it was worth much more than that, but I hadn't even seen or touched the thing in like 8 years. Been in my closet, just hanging out.
Yeah. But I could tell when the guy starts wheeling and dealing with you, you're not comfortable.
Yeah, I just didn't like it because I don't want, I've got a price in there for a reason. It's not what it's about.
Does this guitar work? And you even explain, it's got $50 worth of strings on it right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how about $50?
It came with a strap. I mean, brand new strings pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And he was kind of trying to do the same thing. I'll give you 20.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't take 20.
What brand? I never heard of this brand before. What is it? What does it sound like?
Because clearly, sir, you look like a man who knows his guitars. You're holding it wrong.
I have no idea why he bought it. He said his son or someone likes guitars.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
My boy likes guitars. I'm going to take it to him. Okay.
It's funny. It had like old Violent stickers and a bunch of like Legend of Zelda stickers on there and stuff. I'm surprised he even looked at that.
Yeah.
It was a very odd crowd. And there was that guy that bought that. I mean, you had someone buy almost all of your action figures you had out there.
That's true.
Yeah.
And one, because I was worried because I thought that would be one of the first things to go.
Yeah.
But that's not a typical yard sale thing. That's not what people look for at yard sales.
Right.
Especially in the South. They're looking, like we talked last week.
Yeah.
They're looking for baby clothes and lawnmowers and stuff like that.
That's why a lot of my stuff didn't sell. I kind of had the oddities table set up at your yard sale, in case you didn't notice.
You really did. You really did. You had a sombrero.
I have a sombrero, yeah.
You had a statue of a football player who was a clown.
Right.
I still want to know. That's actually still here.
Right. Your wife wanted it.
She did. She loved it.
Yeah.
The novelty of it. So thank you. It's sitting down in our living room right now.
Nice. I'm glad I could contribute.
What else did you have?
I had some gold medals.
Yep, that you had from high school.
I had a Tigger Pez dispenser.
That didn't go.
No, it was 25 cents. What a deal.
That's true.
It's
a great deal.
I had a bashed on-card Sterling Marlin race car.
Yeah.
With the card to it. All kinds of good deals like that.
You know what I was surprised about? Is how well the cards sold.
Right, yeah.
Like I had cards out there.
My Pokemon cards sold very fast.
Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
And that's the stuff where I'm not a
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm not a hoarder at all, but I've had those cards since high school days. So I've had those for good 12, 13, 14
years. And you
years.
took $5 for an entire notebook.
That was tough.
Do you regret that?
No, I mean, kind of, but not really.
Yeah. Because at least it's out of your house.
Exactly. It was just kind of there taking up space, and I haven't used those in over a decade.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things you don't want to give it up because you've had it for so long, but you've had it for so long because you don't want to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vicious cycle.
And I thought kids' books would go.
Right.
I really thought kids' books would just fly off the table.
I had Goosebumps for 25 cents a piece.
Nobody touched the books. I think I sold 3 books the entire weekend. And I had a whole table of books.
Right.
Nobody reads anymore.
No. The games didn't sell much either. That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No, the video games. I think I sold 2 video games.
Yeah, I think same here. I sold more of my old NES Advantage, my actual NES joystick.
Yeah.
Mint in box for $10. Man.
I almost sold my Mario Kart steering wheel for the Wii.
Yeah, I got mad at you for that.
But then the 13-year-old was a dick, so I didn't sell it to him.
That's true.
$10 for a wheel. $10 for a wheel.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. I'll go to $8. $8 for a wheel. $8 for a wheel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At least he put it back where it's supposed to go.
That's true.
In his Nintendo hat.
But it was fun. We should do another yard sale soon.
We are.
Yeah.
We will.
That's good.
I think in June we're going to do it again.
I think that's when the sombrero is going to go. I can feel it.
I got a feeling.
So many people, it was always a conversation piece. Hey, look, a sombrero. And they just walk away.
I know. Who doesn't want a sombrero? I almost bought the sombrero.
You should have bought it. It is an actual authentic Mexican sombrero.
Where did you get that?
I don't know. I think a yard sale.
Yeah?
I think a yard sale. I think my mom got it for me in a yard sale like 10, 15 years ago.
See, I resold some stuff that I had purchased in yard sales.
Yeah, it happens.
A lot.
Really?
Yeah. All those X-Men die-cast figures.
Yeah.
That man, I couldn't load that guy up enough.
You couldn't, could you?
He's like, what else will you give me a deal on? Well, I'll give you a deal on this and this. And I'll tell you what, I'll do this.
What a deal. He came up with a good load, though. That guy had some good stuff.
Did.
Yeah.
And spent, he got some good figures for $50, $55, something like that.
But how much overall did we make with the yard sale, would you say?
Do you really want me to say?
Yeah.
Overall?
Yeah.
The total of the yard sale was $494.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, some of the appliances had to be taken out.
Right.
Because I promised my wife if they sold, it would go towards our vacation.
Not this secret we have coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But total for the yard sale was $494.
That's pretty impressive for 2 days' work.
Yeah.
For a yard sale.
And had fun doing it.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Exactly, yeah.
It wouldn't have been so much fun if you hadn't been there and Brooke hadn't been there.
A block of cheese and some beef jerky.
That was fun,
Makes
wasn't
it
it?
go around, yeah.
And luckily my wife was there Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Because, through most of the day on Friday, not that there's anything wrong with it, but a lot of people thought we were a couple.
They did think we were pretty gay.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Especially when they walked in the garage and there's Batman and Robin from Batman and Robin.
With their nipples.
That's true.
Giving the old fist bump.
Look at that provocative Batman poster.
It was
and the fact that I talked to you like we're an old married couple doesn't help.
Yeah, you always did that. Why'd you do that?
I don't know. Like somebody was looking at a fan. I was like, You remember how often we've used this fan?
Oh.
Meaning we used to use that fan when we would record.
Yeah, in the garage there.
Yes, exactly.
Not upstairs in our bedroom after a night of passion.
Exactly. And then the one guy came up. He was, which one of you handles the money? That would be him. He never lets me buy the things that I want. But yeah, a lot of people thought me and you were a couple.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with me and Josh.
Right. Yeah.
Because we were going to MomoCon last year,
Right.
and we stopped at a McDonald's, and we were bickering about what we should get.
Oh yeah.
And I'm saying things like, I can't have eggs this early in the morning. And the girls behind the counter were giggling because they thought me and him were a couple. It was hilarious. In hindsight, very funny.
That's pretty funny. Episode 100, we're here.
We
100,
are.
It's happening.
And so we got a lot of stuff coming. As a matter of fact, the last 30 minutes of this show, however long it is, the last 30 minutes of this show is going to be a special 100 episode special that I've put together.
That's exciting.
Yeah. The last 30 minutes.
Nice.
Because here's the story. If you don't know, if you're new to the show, technically number 100.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so that is a tricky little number system. We almost have like a comic line going. We have different universes, different Earths, storylines have happened.
As far as the Adam and JP Show podcast, this is number 100.
Yes, let's say that.
For a year, we did a radio show. So if you look on the iTunes feed and our Libsyn feed, you can find radio shows that are not numbered. They're dated.
Right.
Because that was the radio show. Then even before that, in the Elseworlds, there was The Show.
Oh, The Show.
Which was our first show.
This is The Show. Haven't seen that in a while.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, that's going to be coming up. You'll hear the old intro very, very soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that 30-minute special, about 15 minutes of it is our old intro.
Really?
Yeah.
15. It was a long one.
It's very long.
I think people liked it. I liked it.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed building it.
Yeah.
So it's fun to listen to. So 4 years ago next month, June of 2011, we recorded our first show.
Yeah.
And it was different then because we would do 15, 20-minute episodes.
Right, because at the time, there was a certain, I forget, was it below 20 megabytes? I forget the file size.
20 megabytes.
Yeah, but that was anything over that, you actually had to download to your phone.
Right.
You couldn't really stream
You couldn't
that.
stream it from
So we're
iTunes.
trying to, at the time, a lot of people were on data charges, data plans. So as a sign of the times, we tried to make them smaller episodes where people didn't, have to use their data for it, or at least, take up space on their phone itself and could just stream the podcast itself. So we tried to make almost daily episodes we tried, right?
We did. We would put them out every day.
That's crazy.
There'd be like a 15, 20-minute episode every day.
Instead of one, hour and a half episode per week, we would do 5 20 or so minute episodes per week. And one of those episodes was a Gamer's Corner. One of those was on the new movies coming out. Each one of the segments, if you want to call it that, we have now, was a whole 15 or 20-minute episode per day back then. It was crazy.
All under the umbrella of the show.
The show, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Explain the show because before I came along, I was kind of the, the second man. I was the Val Kilmer to someone else's Michael Keaton.
Well, I was working with a friend of mine in the radio business, and he was working for a production company, and we were trying to come up with this idea of doing this kind of pop culture type show for the radio. And, this was all in beta testing, basically.
Yeah.
And we would do mock shows, and I would record them. I still have a bunch of those. We would do these episodes. And so just to have a name, we called it The Show. Mm-hmm. It was The Show. And we had voice work built for The Show. So that got shelved.
Which is still kind of used today. A little bit. Not for the show, but part of it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
Part of it is.
Yeah.
Where the world of pop culture and talk collides.
Right, yeah.
I've had that 5-6 years. Leslie, who I used to work with when I worked for Clear Channel, she was called The Chick.
The Chick.
On Rock 92.3 in
Nice.
Jackson, Tennessee.
Wow.
She was the midday girl. And we've stayed friends. So when I was putting all this together, I was like, hey, will you mind cutting this stuff up? Because I want a female voice. Now Brooklyn's part of it too.
Right, yeah, she is.
Anytime you hear a female say the Adam and JP show or adamandjp.com, that's actually Brooklyn.
Right.
So we're doing the show, and then it kind of falls through and doesn't happen and gets shelved, and I have all this stuff, and then you come to me and say, I would really like to do a podcast. Well, what do you want to do a podcast about? Video games, movies. Sounds great. I've got all this stuff. We don't have to build intros because I've got them all.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so that's why it was called The Show.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Right.
it was called The Show.
Yeah.
So,
kind of finding our way in the podcast world.
Yes. And so a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear coming up at the end of this episode is from the show days, early show days. Well, it kind of runs the gambit of the show. Because just about everything else is available on iTunes.
And it was tricky back then for having such a name that, I don't want to say generic, but that open. It was tough to find other social media outlets to have that tied to it. So the actual website was totally different. Our Twitter was a different thing. Everything was different.
Facebook.com/The Show Radio.
Exactly. Yeah. At, showmethegeek.net. Was it geek_show?
At geek_show.
So every one of those was different. Now, of course, every single thing is Adam and JP.
Adam, it's branding, my friend.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all universal across the board. You Google that, it comes up. So back then, if you Google the show, clearly we wouldn't be in the first 100 pages of that.
No.
But now
we're right there at the top.
Exactly.
That's the very first thing.
Because it's the name.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a very good rebranding. It took 2 years, but we're finally there. That's good.
Yeah. And that was 2 years ago. It's hard to believe that was 2 years ago.
Right. So like we said, long story short, this is episode 100 of the Adam and JP podcast itself.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are many, many, many. I started trying to add up how many hours of audio I have.
Oh, man.
On file.
Yeah.
I stopped when the math got over 1,500, 2,000 hours.
Really?
I just stopped.
Yeah.
We have a lot of audio.
Sure. It's been at least weekly, sometimes double weekly if you count the weekly, because we had a radio show and a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those at least an hour each, or sometimes an hour and a half each.
Well, the radio show was always an hour and a half.
Yeah, so sometimes 3 hours of audio a week. I mean, at least one show a week for almost, at least 4 years now.
Right. And for the last year, you've had 8-Bit Adam, whatever podcast I'm doing that month, and Collection Connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I have a lot of audio.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
So June 2011, we start podcasting. And one of the very first episodes I remember doing was I'd done some record shopping that week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then we're talking about that on the show. And I'm going to play this clip. This is from June of 2011. And this might have been the second episode we did.
It's pretty early.
Second or third.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the birth of something that would stick with us the rest of the...
It's the entire album. It is the soundtrack to the film Rhinestone.
Wow.
Starring Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton. Little known Sylvester Stallone. He's right there. He's right there on the cover. He plays a cabbie, a New York cab driver who Dolly Parton places a bet with a club owner that she can turn Sylvester Stallone into a country music singer in like a month or something like that.
Did it work?
Well, I'll play a little cut here.
Okay.
It's a little number off the soundtrack. Sly Stallone singing Drinking Style.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call me Drinking Style. In the tavern down the street is the laboratory where I make the transformation all the time. In the standard Dr. Bud, the kind of monster blood, and it does affect me different every time. Everybody, Budweiser, you created a monster, now they call me Drinking Style. Now they call me Drinking Style.
Just foolish.
He's just foolish.
Oh, my.
That's Sly Stallone's only single on the soundtrack. He is in a couple of duets with Dolly Parton, one called Stay Out of My Bedroom.
Oh, did he, you think? No, I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, huge.
Uh-huh.
I would say Rocky is my favorite movie of all time.
Right.
Rambo's up there, close. I love all of his stuff, or the majority of his stuff.
Well, Rambo's one of my favorite Christmas movies, but continue.
Oh, okay. Right. But he should not sing. That was bad.
No, that was horrible.
That was bad.
But I love that I own the soundtrack to
That is
Rhinestone.
pretty awesome. That was worth all 99 cents. You paid for that.
Now, there was a big top 10 hit off this. Dolly Parton had a huge hit with the song Tennessee Homesick Blues.
She had a lot of huge hits.
She's got a couple I can think of right now.
Right.
Our jokes haven't changed.
No, not so much. Well, our voices sound different.
Well, it's different equipment.
Weird. I mean, not just that, but like the way I approach things. Weird.
Well, I'm clearly like Mr. DJ J. Patrick. Here's a little ditty from the Rhinestone soundtrack.
That's pretty funny.
We're clearly much more relaxed now. That was like our second or third episode.
Yeah, I mean, for you that was different because not only was it it was a brand new thing. Like radio was one thing you'd done, but this podcasting was different. And for me,
totally, dude, it took me a year and a half to even realize how you should podcast.
And for me, I mean, the idea of a microphone in my face. I mean, some people now, the first time we put them on here, they get scared.
That's true, they do.
Yeah, some people you can have like the most outgoing personality. I know this firsthand. You bring them on the show and you put them on there, and they have the microphone. As soon as you hit record, they just clam up like Garth Algar when there's no Wayne.
No, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly, it's the weirdest thing.
Just talk.
Yeah, just do that.
But that is the birth. That is birth of Drinkenstein.
That's funny.
On our shows.
Wow. I mean, soon after that, maybe a few months after that, we started attending conventions.
Mm-hmm.
We sold many Drinkenstein buttons at these conventions.
That's true. Well, a couple.
Well,
we sold many to our friends.
That's true. Yeah, that counts.
If you, like I said, at the end of the show, there's part of us talking about being at a Star Trek convention.
Right. Oh, wow.
Which was actually the very first convention I'd ever been to.
Really? Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was that Star Trek convention.
And that's where we got the bug. Like, wait, we could set up our own table at these conventions.
Mm-hmm.
And my, did that lead us to different places.
That's true.
From that one thought of us going to this little podunk local convention has given us so many more opportunities.
Yeah. Now we're addicted.
That's true, yeah.
We can't stop.
I got the itch.
As a matter of fact, we talk about the first time I'd ever seen a furry.
Right, yeah.
Is in that clip that's coming up at the end of this episode.
That'll be fun to hear.
Yeah.
Nice. Huh.
In that same episode, which was like episode 2, episode 3 of the show, I remember like I'd bought several albums. And so we played different stuff that we had off the album.
Yeah.
I was going to play some of the things that were featured in that episode because there's nowhere else to find this stuff. Do you remember the soundtracks I got, like the Halloween soundtracks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one is supposed to be a witch.
It's like a porno.
I know.
Remember this.
A witch and Dracula.
That's still funny.
I know. After all these years later, it's still funny.
It's that warm LP Crackle.
I know. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
that'd be a good wrestler name, LP Crackle.
Ladies and gentlemen. So I thought it would be fun to go through some of the stuff that we've played on the show that we don't play anymore, that we used to use on a fairly regular basis.
I bet that pizza tastes good.
Wow.
Do you remember the story behind that?
That was episode 1.
Yes.
So whenever I went to do this, the very first episode, I was nervous, of course, and I came back just a few hours prior from my niece's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. And you were telling me the similarities between Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza, which I'd never heard of before.
Right.
And so you brought this audio up talking about Showbiz Pizza. The old commercials.
Yeah.
I bet that pizza tastes good.
Pizza. Please, one more time for me. I bet that pizza.
I bet that pizza tastes good.
Now it's in the intro of the show.
It is, yeah. It's hidden in there, but it's still there.
That's true. Just like Drinkenstein's in there.
Right, yeah.
Do you remember like the Songify stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. When I heard this, like, this took me right back to 2011.
Yeah, I want a drug culture machine.
Wow,
It's not
yeah.
available. If you try it once, you will die. Your face will melt off. Control will leap over your exploded body.
Are these guys still around?
Yeah, Shmoyoho, yeah.
What's not to love? The world I was on, Mick Jagger and Richard looked like droopy-eyed, armless children. That's how I partied. That's how I partied. I was banging 7-gram rocks. That's how I roll. Winning. I had one gear. Go. Epic. Winning. Are you bipolar? I'm bi. Winning. Win here. Win there. Win. Everywhere. Winner. Absolute victory. Everywhere. Winner.
Yeah, the auto-tune takes me back.
Yeah. And this was on, let's see, we used that when we used to do Winners and Losers.
Right. Oh, wow. Winners and Losers.
And then the Loser of the Week, or the Big Loser of the Week, would be the Drinkenstein Award.
Right, yeah.
And that's when we'd play Drinkenstein.
That's true. Wow. It's all taking me back.
I know. What else do I have? Oh, here's one you're going to love.
Oh, wow.
Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper getting cracked up on. We used to play that a lot.
We did, yeah.
Is that still in the intro? I know that was in the intro.
It was
at
the
one
old
point.
one. I don't think the new one has that, though.
Yeah.
The old one has it.
Let's. Do you remember why we played this? We played a lot of music on this show.
Yes.
Why did we play the power or the glory of love?
Why not? Satara, that's why.
It's special to you.
Right, yeah.
Just like a knight in shining.
It's a great one. We, may have had some drinks one night at Dragon Con. We may or may not have seen a...
Holy shit. I'd forgot about this.
Really?
Yes. Until you just said that, it just...
Wow. So we may have
right back into my head.
We may have had some beverages. We may have had some buckets of rum as they have at Dragon Con. And we may have seen a... We may have seen a Danielson cosplayer on the level below us.
We sure did.
And so you and I, Josh, I don't know how we didn't fall over, hang over the balcony and sing this to that man, sing the song to him.
Oh, man.
It was a special night.
I remember that. Like, we had, once we started doing it and people could see who we were singing to, other people joined in.
That's true.
It was pretty funny. The three of us have the uncanny ability to just start group things at Dragon Con. It's amazing.
That's true, yeah.
You remember the first wrestling we went to?
Oh, yeah.
The first year we went to Dragon Con, we went to the
wrestling?
wrestling?
Yeah.
And every other chant was something that we started.
Right.
You're a hooker. You're a hooker.
And it started, yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, we talk a lot about Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I love Halloween. I'm ready for it right now.
We love Halloween. And I remember we did the must-have Halloween songs at your Halloween party. What are we, Good Housekeeping?
Do we have that, really?
We did.
Wow.
Because that's where I got these from, that episode. The must-have Halloween songs at your Halloween party.
Southern living up in here.
Hungry Like the Wolf made the list.
It was very radio themed back then, wasn't it? Once again, your transition
from
radio to podcast.
That's true.
The idea of,
And you notice I'm slipping back into the music thing?
That's true.
Like the last 3 weeks we've done music stuff?
Yeah.
Because I miss it. This was on that list.
Right, nice.
Blue Oyster Cults, Don't Fear the Reaper. Oh, listen to that. Oh, now see, here's something I'll point out on this episode. These two parts of the song do not go together, but it is seamless.
Yeah.
I'm going to brag on myself.
Because the actual cowbell part, yeah.
That is some audio magic right there.
That's pretty seamless, I'll admit it. Yeah.
What else did I have on that list? Apparently, if you're going to have a Halloween party, Adam, this is a must-have song for your Halloween party.
What song is that? I remember you playing this and still back then thinking, what the hell? I still agree with that statement. What the hell? Oop.
You must have Elvira. What would you say we talk about more, Halloween or wrestling?
I would think Halloween.
You think so?
That starts wrestling's all year round, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Or taking.
We've done a lot of wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Here's one of my favorite clips that we've used.
Like I'll tell you what you can do with that camera. You, Chico, Razor Ramon. You take that camera and shine it up real nice. And then what you do, you give it to your big buddy. Big Daddy Cool, Diesel. You turn it sideways. And then you give it to him. Give it to Hogan. Hogan, you take that camera. It's already shined up. Turn sideways. Eat your vitamins. Say your prayers and stick it straight up all your candy asses.
I'm telling you, Adam, I used to do so much. Like that whole clip, you see the fade out and everything?
Right, yeah.
I prered that for the show.
You did, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of work.
When I found all these clips, I used to do so much work for the show. Now it's just like, what are we going to do? I don't know.
Just throw it together.
I really don't know why I have this.
You know why. We always talked about Golden Girls.
But why did I pull the Andrew Gold version? I think we played that just a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
Not that version. Oh, here's one of my favorites.
I'm gonna get ya!
Yes.
What in oblivion is that?
Yeah! Legends don't burn down villages.
I'm your friend. Macho madness, sky's the limit.
See me in on the other side.
The madness, yeah.
Now!
Wild.
That boy, you're doing great.
What that was a Macho Man Randy Savage mod for Skyrim. So the first time you see the dragon, the first time you play Skyrim, it's actually the Macho Man.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
In oblivion is that. Yeah!
Legends don't burn down villages.
I'm your friend. Macho madness, sky's the limit.
See me in on the other side.
The madness, yeah.
Oh,
that was good. Oh man, that's still making me cry.
That is one of my. Oh, here's a classic.
Oh wow, yeah.
Is that still in the beginning?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember what's in the intro and what's
yeah,
not.
No, I think it is. I don't know.
Darth Vader.
Right.
Why do I have this one?
Because the first time you saw the game Dance Central being played, I played this in Best Buy.
Oh, that's right.
That's what we talked about it. Yeah.
The crowd was coming around.
That was pretty awkward.
You were selling Kinects.
I was selling the Kinect, yeah. The guy's like, I got one more. I'll take it. That was ridiculous.
Because you were dancing to Poker Face inside of Best Buy. Here's this one.
Now, why don't you and your girlfriend get off this stage before I start craving a ham sandwich? Waka waka.
Wow. That was the one fantastic night that the Muppets were on Monday Night Raw.
That's right. That's Jack Swagger talking
to Miss Piggy.
And Kermit the Frog.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Waka waka. Of course, this is the classic.
Yeah.
This is the one that's at the beginning of the show.
That's true. I'm going to have to say now, this song is ruined.
Why?
Because at Impact this past year, someone had the risque cosplay of the song. So I hear this and I think of semi-nude women now.
I thought you did before.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because of your crush of Carmen Sandiego.
That's a very good point.
I don't know why I have this one.
Well, we're moving on now to the side.
I think we just like the Jeffersons.
I think so, probably so.
It's labeled 5-Jeffersons, so it was number 5 of something.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
A lot of cartoon stuff.
Yeah, as it should be.
That entire theme song edited down to 18 seconds.
That's true. Very nice.
Do you know how much work that probably took?
I'm sure quite a bit.
I don't remember. A lot of cartoon stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
This one.
Yes. Still one of the best themes ever to me.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like, this should be the theme to the movies.
Yeah. Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
So there it is. Just some of the stuff we've used over the years.
Taking me back.
Oh, there's one more.
One more.
I got to play this one. We just.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic. Oh, yeah. Bill Play Out. Yeah. Wow.
I'd like to say I put this together, but I didn't. So, Thunderbusters.
Taking me back.
You reached out on Twitter.
Yes.
To do some, using the hashtag AJP100.
Right.
And Ask Adam and JP.
Right. Those are fun hashtags, I thought.
And we've gotten some fantastic responses.
We have, yeah.
You want to do a couple here?
Okay, so yeah, we reached out to Facebook and to Twitter with the hashtag Ask Adam and JP, like you said, or AJP100. And so we got some stuff. We'll start off on Twitter first off here.
Okay.
We got one from Reactor Radio. I think they do a podcast as well. And they asked, what is your personal favorite episode so far?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have one in mind?
I can't think of one.
I can't think of one that I like.
It's tough for just one. That's a really tricky one. It's a good question. So good that I can't think of the answer.
The ones where you get cracked up were
Right.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or the ones where you tell stories are pretty funny too.
Yeah, because when I laugh, which I always laugh genuinely, but when it's like a hardcore genuine laugh,
Right, when it's unexpected.
I kind of sound like I don't know, Ricky Ricardo.
That's true.
So that happens to me. I always love the Halloween. I know I can't think of one particular, but I do know my favorite time of the year is leading up to Halloween.
When we do the countdown to Halloween
And
starting in August.
It may just be for my own personal love and gain, but I love telling the local like haunted houses, like the stories of haunted areas.
That was fun. We did that last year.
Yeah, I love doing that, and I've already got my list this year for some.
Really?
I'm serious. I got some a few days ago. I'm serious. I'm totally serious.
You're already prepping for Halloween?
I'm totally serious. Yeah, I got some already for us.
I like the episode where you tell, and there's a piece of it coming up and at the end of this one. You trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Right.
You telling the story of having to buy diapers for your dog.
Right. Wow, I forgot about that.
And pretending you have a child that you don't.
You make it sound so weird.
You buying amiibos for a nephew that you don't have is another one of my favorite stories.
I think it was was it my son's nephew? What was it? I forgot what it was.
I don't remember.
I think maybe it was my son's nephew.
Was it the drunk or sober story is really which time. That's some of my favorites.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theories, when we did the conspiracy theories.
That's true. That was good. Yeah.
That was a good episode.
Right. I forgot about that.
Butt chugging in the TARDIS comes to mind. That's the name of the episode. We're talking about butt chugging.
Yeah.
Yeah. More recently, where we don't mind going a little blue with the humor.
Right, yeah.
Like
that's true, yeah.
The grapefruiting episode.
Grapefruiting was good. That was some good audio, I think.
I guess. I don't know. Or you know what? I'm gonna take the cheesy answer. Our first episode is
there.
My
We
favorite,
go.
Because that's what led to all of this.
Well, that's just heartfelt.
It starts with one.
Mm-hmm, it's true.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Linkin Park song?
One episode that no one will ever hear again.
Maybe one day. For April Fool's next year, we should hype up how it's going to be the greatest episode ever and just release episode 1.
Just put out that 5-minute episode that we did.
Shitty it is.
Is that the one where we talk about the podcast? Because I still have that one. Where we go through and we actually listen to all other podcasts that are out at the time.
Right.
Not like popular podcasts, but like other geek-oriented podcasts.
Right.
And then we're making fun of the guy, and then he's like, guys, I want to get personal for a second. My dad had a stroke last week.
We're like, oh, hell.
Yeah.
This got weird fast. I do remember that one.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. We got one from Gore Musk on Twitter asking, what is your most embarrassing con story?
Singing Glory of Love.
That may be it, yeah.
To Danielson.
That may be it. When I go to big cons, something happens to me. I turn into a different person. And so I do things I wouldn't usually do.
Like rave?
Well, raving's one. I love raving.
Right.
But just, being loud and clapping and talking to people. I'm pretty much an introverted guy. When you get me around the people I enjoy and love, I become a different beast.
Like my most personal embarrassment was last year at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
When we got the interview times, and I wrote the time down wrong to interview Space Ghost, and just went to the parade, and I was at the parade at the time I was supposed to be interviewing Space Ghost. And so then I had to go personally track down Space Ghost and apologize for missing the interview.
What about last year at the Arcade Expo? That's kind of embarrassing for you, wasn't it?
That's true. Where I almost shit my pants. Thanks for bringing that up. That was 2 years ago.
You didn't have to say it.
I just shit my pants.
I know it was last year. It was last year's Arcade Expo.
Yeah, 2013, 2014.
2014, yeah.
Yeah. So. Luckily, nothing like that happened this year.
Here's a classic, and if you listen to the show at all in the past few weeks, we're kind of going on a lifestyle change. JP and I are kind of eating healthier and doing things healthier. But, every now and then we still get those food questions.
That's true.
Because we used to have a lot of food talk on the show. It didn't mean for it to happen, but it did.
Well, it was delicious, too.
And this is a quick one. Just a quick question. Would you rather eat 100 Crystal Burgers or 100 donuts? You can't leave the room until you're done, and you have to pick one.
Little chocolate donuts.
Really? You go donuts over Crystals, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going Crystal Burgers.
Really?
Yeah, all day, every day.
That's just your...
They just slide down your throat, man.
Right into your colon.
They're like throat suppositories. They just go right down.
They get lodged sideways in your rectum.
It just happens. This one's a pretty good one. From it's Dr. MD from the Finger Bangers podcast.
Oh, okay.
3G Geeks Gearing Games. What's the one thing you want the other one to do, but they just won't?
I want Adam to like good movies.
Oh.
And TV shows.
That's okay. It's true.
But he just won't. Except for Daredevil.
I want you to buy an Xbox One. That is true. We're always nagging each other for that.
That's true.
We are.
I want you to watch The Walking Dead.
I have watched it.
I want you to like The Walking Dead.
I haven't liked it. I can't help that. We have just a few more from Twitter here. So this one's kind of unrelated, but it says, did you ever own or wear a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt?
I did not.
Really? Never?
No.
Are you serious?
But I did have a Planet Hollywood shirt, so...
You never did?
Yeah, I never had a Hard Rock Cafe.
Why didn't you ever do that?
Because...
That was the cool thing to do.
I know. That's why I didn't do it.
Wow.
Like a little Planet Hollywood.
Little rebel there. Just to save some time, we'll do one last one from Facebook. How about that?
Okay.
And by the way, I did wear Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts.
I could guess that.
When I went to Orlando for Disney World, I got one there.
Hard Rock Cafe Orlando?
Yeah. What? I think I got one from a yard sale once from Italy.
Tokyo.
You have something like that. A wild woman from there. Daniel Bissell on Facebook asks us, what's your favorite fandom vehicle? Basically, if you could drive one famous ride, what would it be? Mine would be the Mystery Machine, he says. Mystery Machine for me. What would your one fandom vehicle be? If you could actually own it, have it parked in your driveway, and drive that, what is your one fandom vehicle you have?
You know.
DeLorean? Yeah.
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 The DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Right.
Or Kit.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Ecto-1.
That's a good one.
I think I go Ecto, yeah.
We saw all of those in the same museum once.
That's true, we did. Mm-hmm. But I think that would, Ecto-1 for sure for me, even though it's like an old ambulance, and it's probably a gas chugger. But it's all right.
It's a unique, fixer-upper opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. That's what movies and franchises today are missing. Those classic, like he says, the fandom vehicles. Mm-hmm. Those aren't there anymore.
You have the Tumbler.
Yeah.
In the Nolan movies. Nolan Batman movies.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Tumbler may be in Batman versus Superman.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
If it would be DeLorean from Back to the Future first, and then Kit from Knight Rider.
Right.
And if I had to pick one, I would take either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say Ecto-1 for me, then a close second DeLorean, and then maybe the T-Bird from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Just because it's badass and it gets Sally Field, That's good enough for me. So some fun questions on Ask Adam and JP for AJP 100.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And the fun continues next with Gamers Corner.
It sure does.
In a world desperately in need of heroes, there is only one place in Atlanta to find them. MomoCon, Atlanta's homegrown convention for video games, anime, and comics. You can heroically battle the forces of evil without breaking a nail in the Southeast's largest gaming hall. This is your chance to meet Keith David and 40 other guys you've seen and heard in movies and TV, but can never remember their names. Bring out your inner hero in epic cosplays, only at MomoCon, the gathering place for heroes.
Hello, Marvel Universe! The Earth Station MCU podcast is your home for all things related to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Join our debrief as we discuss Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, upcoming and past favorite Marvel movies, cosplay, comics history, toys, games, interviews, and all things MCU. Whether you're a hero or a villain, a new viewer, or have been reading comics since you were a kid, there's something for you on Earth Station MCU.
Grab your joystick.
This game is an atrocity.
It's time for Gamers Corner.
I think it'll make a person become insane.
Gamers Corner brought to you by Digital Hero Games, online at digitalherogames.com. The fine company behind Cowbell Fever.
That's a remedy I know for sure. There's just one thing that's gonna be my cure. More cowbell. More cowbell.
I love this song.
It's a great one.
I missed this commercial.
I know. Yes, it's bringing me back.
Cowbell Fever, get it now. And if you can find, and I'm sure, I don't know if they're still available, if they're collector's items, but if you can get the soundtrack.
Fantastic.
To Cowbell Fever.
The Cowbell Hero, I love my shirt. I wear my shirt all the time.
So the intro, since we're doing the Adam and JP show, number 100.
Right,
it's all about,
special event.
It's all about 4 years and 100 episodes of the Adam and JP show.
Looking back.
All the memory of. The intro there to Gamers Corner is actually from what game?
From Back to the Future, the video game, actually.
Here it is again, and just the music. Now, on one episode,
Yeah, you're probably thinking that sounds just like mush. There's no meaning to that.
It's just an 8-bit
just
song.
kind of 8-bit chip tunes, kind of just random mush.
Yeah.
Listen to that. It's nothing.
It makes a great intro to Gamer's Corner.
But there is a deeper meaning to this song.
And you decoded this once.
Right, yeah.
And through the magic of audio manipulation, we slowed it down just a bit to see if we could figure out what it was.
It still doesn't sound familiar yet.
No?
I don't know what that is.
Maybe I can slow it down even more for you, okay? Let me
Let's
see
try
what
it,
I can
yeah.
do here. Let
Do
me
that.
see if I can get this up here. Just slow it down just a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute.
Let's get, what is, sounds kind of familiar. Like a bass line of something from Back to the Future.
Maybe it's this song. It is. It's actually The Power of Love.
It is. Pretty smart if you ask me. I think that's pretty brilliant. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Here's Adam.
Well, thank you. We have a few new releases this week, kind of a quick version of Gamer's Corner this week, because we have, of course, 8-Bit Adam. We talked about some of the greatest canceled games of all time that could have been real, but sadly they were canceled before we had a chance to play them. So we do have a few little things for Gamer's Corner, such as a new game on the PlayStation 4 called Tropico 5. Do you remember when Tropico 4 came out?
I remember. Oh, Adam?
Yeah, what?
You're looking for cosplay ideas?
You've always said that. You've always said it.
Why don't you do, what's his name?
Fidel Castro?
Yes. Ish.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too soon, right? Can you
just need like a brown button-up shirt.
Can you do him?
He's not dead.
I know, but like, it's still on people's,
What?
Still kind of a bad guy.
Well, yeah.
I'm
not saying dress up like Hitler and walk around.
I'm just saying he's kind of, he's kind of, he's an enemy of the people.
Socialist.
Anyways,
He's communist.
Tropico 5 came out on the PS4. Kind of more of a government-based, running the country version of SimCity, if you may.
A dictator.
Exactly, pretty much, yeah. Also on the PS4, a game called Omega Quintet came out. Don't know what that means. That's what it is.
Sounds Russian, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that quintet or quintet? I've heard both, and I know one of those is wrong.
It's quintuplets.
I always say quintet, but I've heard someone say quintet, and that doesn't sound right to me.
I think it's quintet.
That's what I thought.
That's what I've always
last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, talked about Shovel Knight on the PS4 and the PC and all that,
Do you shovel?
Exactly. Yes. You don't shovel, but you use the shovel as a weapon. And finally, it is out for the Xbox One. So if you're a fan of Shovel Knight, I hear it's a fantastic throwback to the Mega Man games. Play that game for me.
Now I'm buying an Xbox One.
There you go. Shovel Knight is the one to do it for you. If that's not, maybe a remake of a game that came out last year on the 360. It's finally out on the Xbox One and PC called State of Decay, the Year One Survival Edition. Have you seen this game before?
Is it about zombies?
It is, yeah. Very good guess. It's kind of we've all seen and heard of World War Z or H1Z1. It's kind of the Xbox One's version, an offline version of that, kind of inventory management and survival against the zombie hordes in the apocalypse.
How long do you think the zombie thing's got left in it? How much gas is left in that tank?
We're on the deep part of the downward spiral right now.
I think so.
You don't think so?
Walking Dead still,
they're making me tired of zombies. That's sad.
But when that show's on, there's nothing bigger on TV. Not even Grey's Anatomy.
But at this
Not
point,
even McDreamy's death is as big as Walking Dead.
Spoiler, man, spoiler.
He died. A horrible death.
Man. It's all those yards he had to mow in high school to win that girl's love.
I just watched that recently.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I feel like this game came out recently, but for some reason it's on every chart I see this week that came out again. But Risk for the PS3 and 360. Did that come out weeks ago?
Hasn't that been out years? I remember playing Risk a long time ago.
I mean, on the PS3 and the 360.
You sank my battleship.
For some reason, that'd be Battleship.
Sorry.
For some reason, it said it's out this week on the PS3 and 360.
That's weird.
I can't figure it out, but Risk is out. Go buy that.
Go buy a board game.
Those are all the console games, but we have some classic PC games coming out this week as well.
Oh, good. These are always fun.
Because you love simulators.
I knew it.
How about Truck Mechanic Simulator 2015?
It's a simulator where you fix trucks?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Oh, come on.
I mean, how frustrating was it to change a real tire?
Oh, man, that was bad. That was really bad.
So imagine actually trying to work on the engine of a truck.
Ugh, yeah, I don't want to play that game.
How fun could that be?
What about Carp Fishing Simulator 2015 on the PC?
Blue carp?
I'm not making these up. Carp fishing.
I don't know. I mean, and the fishing. I'll tell you what. I actually did enjoy. Do you remember in the 90s when you could buy the games that looked like a rod and reel? Or was it early 2000s?
Yeah, it was around that.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then you'd actually cast it out.
Yeah.
And you had the little screen and
little galoob things. Yeah. Or Tiger made some too.
I thought that was a fun game.
They were fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
So
good.
I might be into carp fishing simulator.
You should look up Carp Fishing Simulator 2015. Last but not least, on the new releases, we have a PC game called Not Without My Donuts. So if you're a fan, it's not a simulator, I'm sorry to tell you that, but Not Without My Donuts did come out this week.
Not Without My Donuts.
Is that what's going to make you buy like a nice PC to play games on now? Not Without My Donuts?
Is that like a Lifetime movie? Not Without My Daughter, starring Sally Field?
I think so.
Christy McNichol.
And on South Park for Terrence and Phillip, they had Not Without My Anus. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the same thing.
It's all from that Lifetime movie.
Is it really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Not Without My Daughter.
He said Field or Struthers. Which Sally?
Sally Field.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Man, back in the...
I'm Sally Struthers. Help me feed these kids.
Wow.
Or buy me donuts. That's not Sally Struthers.
Oh, wow.
That was coy.
That is another character we used to have. That is all for the new releases this week. That means we have one little snippet of some actual gaming news.
Gaming news. Number 100 edition.
Nice.
Better be good.
It's only one news story.
We only turn 100 once.
It's only one news story to keep it kind of short and fresh,
Okay.
like I like it.
Yeah.
But we this past week on 8-Bit Adam, we talked about some the canceled games that we've never seen before,
Right.
and that kind of stemmed from the cancellation of Konami's Silent Hills game. So last year we had it was called PT, a playable teaser that came out. Created by Hideo Kojima, the man who made Metal Gear Solid, and Guillermo del Toro, the creator of many great movies, and starring Norman Reedus himself.
From Boondock Saints?
That guy, that's the one. So this came out
Has he
last
done
year.
anything past that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
That's probably the top of his career right there. Yeah. But this game comes out. PT is kind of a teaser for Silent Hills, and for some unknown reason, everyone disbands, leaves the company, and Silent Hills this past week got canceled. And Konami has taken their name off of the stock market as well.
Yeah, very interesting. That whole story on this week's 8-Bit Adam.
For sure, yeah. And so now we have consoles as big or as expensive as almost $2,000 on eBay now because PT, the playable teaser for Silent Hills, is off of the PlayStation Network. So the only way to ever play this game ever again, to play any trace of it, is if you have it on your console already installed. So $2,000 these consoles are going for.
This is like Angry Birds.
Exactly, or Flappy Bird, yeah.
Or Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Angry Bird. You remember they canceled Angry Birds?
The World was Right.
Is that still, can you still sell your Flappy Bird iPad?
I don't think so.
Or phone?
I've got Flappy Bird and Flappy Stash on my iPad right now.
You sure do.
But that is the one quick little news snippet. I don't want to talk about it too much. Like I said, we go much deeper into that on 8-Bit Adam this past week. So check that out if you want to. We go into many, many more, like a 10 title deep list of the top canceled games of all time.
Like I said, coming up, we got to have like a 30-minute special.
Right.
Which is all old stuff because we had a request. Like,
Right,
hey,
yeah.
there's only so many episodes available on iTunes.
That's true. They do go, maybe 60 or so back, so almost 40 or so are missing.
Right. So what I thought it would be fun to, we're going to get into that in just a second, but I wanted to go through the episodes that are on iTunes. Let me pull up our feed. And I'm just going to throw out some of the names here and see if you remember what these episodes are about. Let's see. Fudge Hudgens. Do you remember that one?
I remember the name. I don't remember why it was called that.
Doctor Who turns 50, Batman, iPod watches,
Nice.
Fudge Hudgens, and Fanny Pac-Man.
Nice. Wow. Oh, yeah. That's when I was... oh, wow. Yeah. So Fudge Hudgens and Fanny Pac-Man, I was trying to ask the people. I wanted to change my Xbox Live gamer tag, and those were my two options. Was Fudge Hudgens or Fanny Pac-Man.
Number 40 of the Adam and JP show, online dating for bronies.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if I... In the first AJP podcast of 2014, this week we ponder what a bozo funeral would be like. Adam brings JP up to speed on ATV names.
What?
Like all-terrain vehicles.
What? I don't remember that at all.
I don't either. Find out what Tennessee towns are mispronounced. Words and phrases we should stop using. Online dating, broken bones, Minecraft, Brony docs, and more.
Wow.
Oh, so we talked about the Brony documentary.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
At the Adam and JP show number 41, Pee-wee's Warm Body.
Nice.
Pretty sure we talk about Pee-wee Herman. Star Trek's number 42.
Star Trek's.
I know we're making fun of the way someone pronounces Star Trek. Gamer Girl, number 44. We had
nice.
Gamer Girl on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 46, the VD Special.
Oh, yeah, Valentine's Day, the VD Special. Yeah. It's classic.
Adam discusses his dream sport from his younger years. An outtake from the radio show proves we'll never grow up. Also, facts that may destroy your childhood. Shia LaBeouf art. Ouya price drops. And Goat Simulator.
Wow.
Number 46, the first mention of Goat Simulator.
Wow.
Hey, Wikipedia kids, write that down.
Right. Wikipedia.
Number 48, hashtag Hangover with Bridget Fitzgerald when we had her on the show. Number 49, Burger Time beats and beating Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, wow.
Recorded from the Louisville Arcade Expo.
Nice. Of 2014, huh?
We discussed the games we played, the sites we have, and the crisis that was averted.
Very nice.
Number 50, Teen Wolf Elvis. We'll probably talk about Teen Wolf and Elvis.
Right.
Let me go up here. Number 55, Digging Up E.T. and Macho King.
Oh, wow. Was that when the E.T. cartridges were brought up?
This week, the huge news is all about the mystery of the Atari E.T. dump in the mid-'80s. What was found in that New Mexico landfill.
Nice.
Also, the movies we love that nobody likes. Viral marketing from Dusk Till Dawn TV show. And worst Eddie Murphy movies.
Wow. Maybe you should skip that episode if you're going back. Maybe you should skip that one.
No, I think you should start with that one. Let me jump up here a little bit. Number 59, Grapefruiting at the Drive-In.
Yes, that was 59?
Yeah.
That was almost a year ago?
On the eve of MomoCon 2014, Adam is over-medicated and JP is missing the drive-in movie experience.
Oh, wow.
Josh is on the line to talk MomoCon preparations and his response to the recent grapefruiting episode of the I'm Not Famous podcast. You can't even hear grapefruiting anymore.
Oh, no.
We'll have to bring that back.
That's terrible.
JP talks about how he almost joined the Marine Corps.
Wow.
That's true. I wanted to be in the Marine band. Then I realized you had to join the Marine Corps. The AJP show, Meat Pushers and Snow Cones, number 60. We review some strange AP headlines, including service dogs pooping on a plane, a meat bandit, a high-flying mass of grasshoppers, and a hot dog eating contest.
Wow.
Number 61, Truth or Dare dog food. This is one our most popular episode ever.
What's it called?
Truth or Dare dog food.
Episode 61, huh?
Adam has checked out Dallas Buyers Club and started playing Skylanders. You still playing Skylanders?
No, I haven't. I'm not playing that anymore.
JP watched Captain Phillips and played Rock Band after a long hiatus. More weird headlines, including making kids eat dog food and taping their mouths shut. Also, find out what Adam did to impress a girl and how JP almost died.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know who writes these, but they're brilliant.
And that's our most downloaded episode 61, huh?
Here's another one that's this has been downloaded a lot too. Number 65, the AJP show, Forrest Gumby and Pokemon. From chainsaw-obsessed Leatherface fans to Gumby cosplay mashups, this week's podcast has just about something for everyone on your Christmas list, plus more fun with Flarp.
That was the first time we saw Bubba Sawyer.
That's right.
It's almost time to bring him back,
Yeah.
We haven't had a Bubba Sawyer update.
We should do that soon.
That's true.
Number 66, Strip Club Buffets.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what you get in this one episode. Strippers, chocolate fountains, The Simpsons, TV talk shows, and Adams BC. Is that talking about your coin slot?
I think it's the coin slot.
No.
Yeah.
Number 66?
No. Well, I mean, in general, I think.
How often do we talk about your butt crack?
I think a lot of butt crack talk.
Talking about your coin slot.
Talking about your coin slot.
Number 67, Hot Dogs, Chainsaws, Sharknado 2, and Picking on 90s Country.
That's a fun episode right there.
Every now and then, there's an episode that can only be described as random. This is one of those. From the 15 greatest hot dogs in the country to Guardians of the Galaxy, Sharknado, Chainsaw Science, and 90s country music.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is like an ADD podcast sometimes, isn't it?
It really is. And then, the more recent ones. Oh, I love this name. The Dark Secret of Danny Tanner. Number 70 of the AJP show. Number 74. Here we go. Now, I don't know when is this. This is October 16th. So we've been probably talking about Halloween a lot.
Right.
October 16th, 2014. Number 74, Halloween Rubber Radio.
Wow.
Oh, Number 76, the AJP show, Flustercluck, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, Flustercluck.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, look at this. How about that Avengers 2 trailer? We like it.
Wow. When was this? What month?
This was November of last year.
Wow.
It's post-Halloween and GMX. How about a little retrospective on both, including the idea of a Hell House?
Wow. The Hell House?
We talked about a Hell House.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And GMX room parties.
Yeah, the ICP room party.
Number 78. Oh, this is one of my favorite episodes. When I describe this episode, you're going to see why this is one of my favorite episodes.
Which one is that?
Number 78, Butt Chugging in the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah.
This week, Adam turns to Diet Nos to stay awake long enough to pod. His mind turns to butt chugging various liquids. JP has spent time this week looking up actual cases of time travel, including the Philadelphia experiment. 2 minutes of the Doctor Who Christmas special has been released. How's this year's Who holiday shaping up? The Fox series Gotham introduced Harvey Dent, blah, 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 blah. Some chat about the Bill Cosby sex scandal. This hadn't been that long ago, right?
I don't think so.
November 20th of last year.
Wow, yeah.
Who's people's sexiest man?
Who
was people's sexiest man for 2014? Wow. Adam approves.
Wow.
Remember Kathy Ireland?
No.
How about her filmography? New releases include WWE 2K15.
Oh, nice.
Dragon Age.
Nice.
And GTA 5.
Wow.
Plus World of Warcraft news and what music icon is spending a lot of money on free games.
Wow. Who was that? I can't remember who that was.
I don't either. Stephen King's The Stand will be made into a 4-movie series. Why is JP excited for this? Why wouldn't you be? Finally, JP announces the death of one podcast and the birth of a new one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
wow, nice historical run there.
All those are available now on iTunes and Stitcher Radio.
That was a good rundown.
And if you want all the shows from the last 2 years at least, go to our Libsyn page, Libsyn.com.
Right.
Before we get into this 30-minute whatever I've put together, do you remember when we did our favorite songs between 2000 and 2010?
I think so.
Can you tell me what your number one would be?
Ooh. Well, were these was this a real
This was
list?
real.
It wasn't a joke?
This is your number 5.
Are you serious?
The Ting Tings.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This was your number 4.
These are songs in general?
These were your favorite pop songs.
Pop song. Okay, pop songs.
Between 2000
pop songs.
and 2010.
That's tricky. Oh, wow. I've got to go through these again. I don't know at all.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say that was number 5 now?
Maybe. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I love Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
I love some Amy. I'll stand by that.
That was your number 4.
Stand by that.
Here's your number 3.
Nice. Okay. These are all songs I love. This is like a time capsule. I like this.
You said this was number 2.
Now the top. Looking back, I love this song. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. The fact that they cover this, loved it.
Phantom Alien Ant Farm?
Yeah. Number 1, I have no idea.
I don't think you'd pick this one again. You ready?
Yeah.
You picked it.
What?
You said this was your favorite pop song between 2000 and 2010.
No way. There's no way. Are you serious?
It says Adam number 1, Dirty Vegas.
It's a classic song, I'll admit that. But number 1?
You picked it, buddy.
I can do the dance still. Still got it.
We're live here, pal. Okay,
wow. What about you?
Yeah. I think I was drinking. Here's my number 5. I mean, I love Blue Cantrell, but I said Hit 'Em Up Style was number 5.
What happened to this list?
Here's number 4, Fountains of Wayne.
Wow. This is embarrassing now. It's embarrassing.
This was number 3. You know what? I'm going to stick by this one.
What year was this? This seems older than 2000, right?
I think it's 2000. Soul Decision, Faded.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. I said this was number 2?
Wow. Maybe so.
Bowling for Soup?
Yeah, we have some different styles.
1985?
Huh? Yeah.
I said this was number 1.
Wow.
This is a great song.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I still love them.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, I don't remember this list at all. I don't.
Yeah.
Dirty Vegas, huh?
Dirty Vegas is number 1. But then we had honorable mentions.
This is a classic. Yeah. What? That was you, right?
Yeah, I think so. What's her name?
Hilary Duff. No, this
isn't Hilary Duff. I would never say Hilary Duff.
Liz Phair.
Liz Phair.
Yeah.
I had a crush on Liz Phair.
Hilary Duff had a song like this to me.
Yeah, and she kind of sounds like that, but it's not her.
Wow.
That was you.
That was not me.
That had to be
There's
you.
No way. I wouldn't do that.
That had to be you.
I would not do that.
You had to put that as an honorable mention.
What? I don't think so. First of all, this is a rock song.
That's true. Headstrong is a pretty good song.
There we go. Yeah, they belong there. I miss them.
I do too. Oh yeah, now I can go along with this one as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
This is Bowling for Soup's Gilligan Island.
You love
cover.
Bowling for Soup, don't you? You love them.
I think I just thought it was funny. I don't know why we have this one either.
Oh yeah, I know why we have it. Fantastic song.
All right, that's it.
Oh wow,
we're gonna get into this the official
the fun
stuff here.
Yeah,
old stuff. 100 episodes.
It has happened.
Number 100.
It has happened.
And I can safely say that in almost 20 years of broadcasting, I have not had any more fun than I have doing the show weekly. And that's not bullshit.
Right.
That is the absolute truth.
I only have these 4 or so years to go off of, but fantastic time. Each week is more fun for me.
I hope you find something you enjoy as much as I do doing this show.
Exactly. Yeah.
So check us out online, adamandjp.com.
Always on Facebook at facebook.com/adamandjp. And don't forget Twitter at adamandjp as well.
And now we start all over again.
That's true.
Hello! Did you know the internet was invented 42 years ago? Wow! I bet they didn't even dream of this.
I never go anywhere without my mustache.
That's very profound. Hey, how you doing?
I bet that pizza tastes good.
My theory is that these guys are known world-class perversion
Freaks.
This project is extremely dangerous.
Give me a minute to catch my breath.
All right, we're here.
Who are you?
You know what this is? You know.
This show.
You know, okay?
Well, you could know.
This is where the world of pop culture and politics alive. This is The Show.
Whoa. Hey, think they're gonna show it? I just had a horrible thought.
You should have buried yourself in Spadeberry.
I love geeks. Welcome back to The Show.
You want to post music for anything at all? Any songs this week hit particularly your fancy? You want to play on this show?
Raindrops Are Falling on My Head by B.J. Thomas.
Feet are too big for his bed.
That is B.J. Thomas.
Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on
Random
my
song.
head and they keep falling.
Convoy by C.W. McCall.
So I
haven't even heard of this stuff.
need some talking to the sun.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Wait, here we go. Here's the bridge.
But Asura's Wrath, it's pretty good. Once again, it's one of those strange Japanese games. Pretty hard to explain, but check out the demo now on Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network.
And this is a serious question.
Yes.
Because I've seen some stuff. I've read online about this in some of the gaming magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know from you, can you kill any hookers in this game?
I totally fell for that. I was leaning over, Dobie Gillis style, thinking about what you were going to say. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Okay, so that happened.
Speaking of forgotten guys from the 90s, have you seen Axl Rose lately?
Ooh, yeah, I saw that. Not so good. Does he have an allergy, like a reaction to that or something? What's going on?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bee sting?
I thought he had some actual like plastic surgery done, about 10 years ago or so?
It didn't take.
He had a problem with that?
Or maybe it's blown up.
Because 10 years ago, it was bad.
I know why Twinkies has had to go out of business.
Because he put them out?
He ate them all.
Well, he's not that big. He's kind of swollen in the face.
He looks like a red-headed Wilford Brimley. I think he's spending a lot of time going to the McDonald's drive-thru.
He's just bored.
I can have a two with cheese, cheese, diabetes. I've got diabetes.
You're having to borrow this fat Axl thing, aren't you?
Now, you want to back off them hogs? 10 for about 5 miles or so. 10 Roger, them hogs.
What the hell is that?
Driving My Life Away by Eddie Rabbit.
Is that his stage? Is that his stage name, or is that really? Was he born Edward Rabbit?
Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit. It's a baby boy.
Congratulations, Peter Rabbit. Your son Eduardo is happy and healthy. This is the Driving My Wife Away by Pinker and Bowden. I know this song. I never heard this song. I've heard it Driving My Wife Away.
No, I haven't seen all of Titanic.
Are you serious?
I've never seen all of that movie.
Are you serious?
I'm absolutely serious.
So you've seen like the first?
I've seen
like
bits and pieces.
You've seen like the little drawing scene where she's on the couch?
I've seen that scene.
Yeah, me too. You want me to spoil it for you?
I kind of know what happens.
You do know, or you know?
I do know what happens.
You kind of know because you've read a book, or you know?
Because you studied history.
Because you know what happens to the ship. You know what happens to the people. Right? Well, you know what got me about that movie? And here's a spoiler alert if you haven't seen this in the past 15 years. When she says, "I'll never let go," right?
Mm-hmm. She lets go.
She lets go. I'll never let go, Jack. Let go. And he sinks. He sinks like a cold rock.
Was she in a boat? I mean, couldn't he? She pulled him up on a boat?
Well, she was on like the floating, I think it was a door maybe.
Was there not room for two?
Exactly. Those childbearing hips just taking up all the room.
So now it is time for us to award this week's Drinkenstein Award. Yes. Adam, who is it?
That is going to be 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah.
But wiser you created a monster, and they called me.
I can't wait to see all those new tattoos.
Yeah, because when the Giants lose this weekend, and they will,
they're not.
We're going to see 50 Cent.
Where I make the transformation all the time. In the standard Dr. Bud.
You think he can really do that?
I think so.
I don't know.
Do you think so?
Different every time.
Oh, not.
Oh, God.
But wiser you created the monster. Now they call me Drinkenstein.
So why don't they make a male stripping Connect fitness video game? This started off as a joke 5 minutes ago, but as the break went on, I thought about this. No one's in the house. Just me and my short shorts. Just be me in the living room, and the Kinect, and the Xbox, just doing my thing. I mean, really, that's not so bad, right? Can't you see it? How old were you when you stopped trick-or-treating? How long did you keep that going? Because I make fun of the older kids, but I'm not going to lie.
I don't think I trick-or-treated past 7th or 8th grade,
really?
Probably.
I drove myself one time trick-or-treating. Not making that part up.
You drove house to house?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. That's the ultimate freedom, driving yourself trick-or-treating. It was awesome. Like, yeah,
get out of the car.
Yeah.
Lock the door. Walk up to the door.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Trick-or-treat. What were you dressed as doing this?
Leatherface. A few hours into it. It was an awesome game.
Right.
Great game. But yeah, the first one came out then. The second one came out for the 360 and the PS3. And now Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus is for the PS Vita, and it's gotten great reviews.
So the thing about when you start bringing these old titles back from like the original NES,
right,
and then like you said from the Xbox, when that happens, why don't they encompass killing hookers into them?
Oh my God, that's it. You're the boy who cried hooker from now on. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Wait a minute, any song?
Yeah, well, maybe.
What about Dio? Dio. Ronnie James Dio.
Which Dio you want? Awesome Rainbow in the Dark.
You ever seen the video to this?
Yeah, he's on the rooftop and all this 5-2 glory. The camera's always up there, so it's like so small.
Walking around with a big hammer.
Yeah.
Like a rainbow with a dark.
I love his voice, man. You said Dio, I thought you said this.
Is that the Fine Young Cannibals?
Maybe.
That's Crash Test Dummies.
Good, very good.
Once there was this girl. Oh, you get what you give? Fine Young Cannibal or New Radicals.
I mean, damn,
this would be Goo Goo Dolls. Iris.
Very good. Very nice.
From Dizzy Up the Girl.
Or the City of Angels soundtrack.
Yeah, City of Angels soundtrack. Closing Time, Semisonic.
It's a fun game, right?
Because there's one place called Tenpenny Tower.
Yeah.
Where all the hoity-toities live.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. You're all angry about it.
And so, well, they won't let the ghouls in. And the ghouls are people, too. They just happen to look like zombies.
Right.
This would have been a great conversation in 2008.
It's true.
So I go to Tenpenny Tower, and you're supposed to, like, one of the people that you're supposed to slap the slave collar on lives in Tenpenny Tower.
Uh-huh.
So I go there, and then I meet Mr. Tenpenny.
Right.
And, and I'm in his room, and I'm kind of looking around. And I'm like, well, maybe I can steal this and nobody will know. And he walked in just as soon as I did it.
So then you've got to do what?
I had to kill him.
I love that response. I know what it is. I had to kill him.
Well, he was making too much noise. People started to run in and shoot at me. So I killed him, jumped out the window with his suit. Because it was a nice suit. And you can take it. And I figured I could get 15, 16 bottle caps for it.
You're relentless. You're like a crackhead. I like that suit, Tenpenny. I like that suit.
Plus, it kind of pissed me off that he wouldn't let the ghouls in.
Yeah.
And every time you go, when you first go into Tenpenny Tower, that's all anybody wants to talk about. Oh, we don't want the ghouls to come in.
Well, if
you're in a post-apocalyptic world.
If you were in that setting, post-apocalyptic world, in a fine establishment like Tenpenny Tower, and you have these slobbering, bumbling ghouls outside trying to get in and attack you, or, well, some ghouls don't.
Yeah.
Would you let them in?
Yeah, they're not the feral ghouls.
Right.
They're just the nice ghouls.
Okay, you would let them in?
Well, they're people, too. They just happen to look like zombies. They just grew up close to radiation.
I guess you're right. You'd kill them eventually, though, when you found out you heard those bottle caps jingling in their pocket.
Probably.
They'd be dead.
What you got there?
Episode 4, A New Hope. What do you consider the New Hope?
Clearly, A New Hope is Luke Skywalker.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Luke Skywalker, learning the Force.
Right.
There's a new hope that he can take down the Empire.
Yeah. And Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, pretty self-explanatory, too.
Right. They win at the end.
Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Right.
I think we had a little dispute on that one.
Okay, so what do you think Return of the Jedi means?
I think Return of the Jedi means the rise of the Jedi, the Return of the Jedi. I mean, between Episode 3 and 4, the Jedi weren't really around, kind of disbanded, agreed. And by Luke Skywalker kind of being fully trained by Yoda, it's now the official return of the Jedi.
No, the Return of the Jedi is Anakin, who was once a Jedi, who went to the dark side and became Darth Vader, comes back to the Jedi at the end. That's why the final scene is him, Obi-Wan, and Yoda.
I mean, surely in episode...
He's returned.
In Episode 7, we're going to have...
He's returned to the light.
The
He's
Jedi
returned to the good side.
I don't know.
So we go out to the Star Trek convention, and we're perusing around. We're going from table to table, and we see some characters.
Oh.
Adam, I'll let you explain what we saw.
Well, I'm going to give a disclosure or disclaimer before I do this. I'm not interested in this lifestyle at all.
Now, you seem to know an awful lot about it.
I watch a lot of TV, and it's on TV sometimes. Therefore, I know
what
quite a bit about
channels are
this.
you watching?
It was on MTV at first. They had a special about it. Okay, regardless, these creatures are called furries.
Uh-huh.
Okay, stop me if you've heard this one. But they're called furries. And it's hard to explain their lifestyle, really. They basically dress up in full costumes from head to toe in an animal of their choice, be it a soft, cuddly animal,
right,
or a hardcore, mean, grizzly bear if they want to be.
Like a...
I mean, it depends on
like a Wolverine?
Well,
like a rabid Wolverine.
Rabid Wolverine. Not Chris Benoit, but rabid Wolverine itself. Yeah. But anything their inner personality, whatever they want to accentuate and bring it out.
Like a spider monkey?
Maybe. That'd be kind of creepy. But the thing is, they dress up in these costumes, and they cuddle, they talk. You know, whatever comes from that, it just happens. Just play it by ear, or by, whatever, paw, hoof. The thing is, we saw one of these furries at the Star Trek convention dressed in a Star Trek uniform.
It was 2 Star Trek furries.
Right, 2 Star Trek furries in full costume from head to toe, and a furry costume with a Star Trek uniform on top of the furry costume.
We have some pictures of this.
We do. Close your eyes and imagine that, okay?
Pink and blue.
And when you open your eyes, clean the spot below you, and then that's what we saw. It really happened.
Star Trek furries.
And this was J. Patrick's first time seeing a furry.
It was. That is true.
He was.
Of course, this sparked our interest, and we're both on our phones afterwards looking at this stuff online.
Googling, furries, Wikipedia furries.
And then we actually found an event. It was an advertisement for an event. We'll put this on the website, too.
This has got to be seen to be believed.
We'll put this on the Facebook page and the website.
Right. I haven't closed that website on my phone yet, so I hope it doesn't freeze up and I have to take it back into Apple with that frozen on there because I will be in jail probably.
But it was actually an advertisement for an event in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
It was bowling. It was furries versus Klingons.
Furries versus Klingons bowling. A true event. We did not make that up. This September.
Wow. So, but you knew, so like instantly, I was like, what is going on here? What is this? See, at first I don't remember rabbits in Star Trek. And you're like, oh, no, they're not rabbits, they're furries. See, it's an alternative lifestyle.
At first, they didn't have their head on, so they just had the paws and the ears, and I think the tail maybe. And I was like, oh, my God.
And then they're going around meeting kids.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it was just some sort of fun Star Trek mascot that I was unaware of.
Well, during the day, it probably is. At nighttime,
The freaks come out
exactly.
at night.
But I had to take a picture of that. It was just, I've never seen one in person, actually. My first in-person furry experience.
You wouldn't get your picture taken with them.
Not with them. I would take a picture, but I'm not going to touch one of those things. I don't know where that's been. Actually, I'm pretty sure I do, but that's why I don't want to take a picture of it.
Quickly, I want to hit this before we get off the subject of the Star Trek convention. My favorite part of today was actually post-convention, going to the restaurant, seeing Abraham Lincoln.
To fill you in, there was coming out of the restroom. Actually, it had to be an Abe Lincoln impersonator.
Had to be. He was like 7 feet tall.
The beard,
the hair.
I mean, if not, something was seriously wrong with this man.
You put a top hat on that and you got Abraham Lincoln.
It was good.
Smash Mouth. Walking on the sun.
Somebody once told me the world
All-Star.
is gonna roll me.
What's with the Smash Mouth? Hey, think about it. What if in the 90s the Cherry Poppin' Daddies had been all female and old, and they would have been the Cherry Poppin' Grannies?
That's disgusting.
Please welcome to the stage the Cherry Poppin' Grannies. When you think about it, that was a filthy name for a band.
Yes, it was.
Oh, this is Presidents of the United States of America and Peaches.
I'm sad alone in a buggy.
I think of Weird Al every time I hear that one.
Yes, I am.
Emotionless except for her heart.
He's gone. I love these movies when they come out, and then I hate them 10 years later.
When X-Men came out, it was the first time we saw like an actual legit, big screen comic book movie, and that was what started the whole wave. Was X-Men?
Whoa! An actual legit big screen comic movie.
X-Men started it.
What?
Well, you're going to say Superman, aren't you?
No, actually.
What are you going to say?
Actually, you could say Superman. Is it Boba or Baba? I've always said Baba.
Really? I've always heard
like Baba O'Reilly.
Baba?
Like the song.
Well, that's spelled differently.
Yeah.
B-A-B, this is B-O-B.
I think it's Boba Fett.
I think it's a Boba.
I don't think it's Bobo Fett.
Bobo.
No, Boba.
Yeah.
I am Bobo Fett. Bounty hunter.
What have you always said, Adam? What have you heard him say?
Bubba. Like Boba
Fett. His crazy rambunctious cousin.
Boba Fett.
He's from down south.
Okay, so we all three have different ways to say it. I guess it's just like, Han, Han. I've heard multiple ways to say that. I got a car. It's a 2005 Grand Prix. Okay. Getting a little personal here. But so the first week I have it, the first time I ever had one of those automatic locking doors. I guess not automatic, but manual. You click it on the keychain and it beeps, meep, meep.
Right.
Just to verify that it's locked. This is the first week I have it. So, of course, I locked the car and I beep it quite a few times. I'm playing with it. I like it. Look at me and my new technology.
Right.
Get out of the car, going into Kroger, okay? And so I beep it and make sure it's locked.
Right.
And what I did back then, I would come out of Kroger, walk into my car, and trying to locate my car, I would beep the horn to find my car. Okay, as I'm doing this, I'm beeping it, walk over to the car, and the guy's down almost on all fours. He's looking at the door, and he's talking to the wheels of my car. And I'm like, meep, meep. He's like, Kit, is that you, Kit? True story. And I'm honking it. He's like, Kit, talking to my car like it's Kit from Knight Rider. And I walk up to my door, and I guess he sees my shadow. He looks up, and he's so embarrassed. And I thought he was kind of slow. No, he's a normal guy. As soon as he saw me, he stood up and just embarrassed and apologized and walked away.
Like how many cars is he going up to a parking lot?
I was like, oh my goodness.
Hoping one day one will talk back.
I know, but he was like, Kit. Like he finally found Kit.
Yes, William Daniels is going to speak to you.
Right.
Well, you finally found me. I'm Kit, the talking car.
But I could not make that story up if I tried. True story, I promise you.
This is 4 Non-Blondes.
Damn, nice.
Tracy Chapman, fast car.
Ridiculous.
Who is Tracy Chapman, fast car, Alex? Daddy's got a fast car.
Okay.
Why don't you just whip out Luca by, what was it, Suzanne Vega? If I could turn
Why
back
do you know that so
time.
fast?
Share, if I could turn back time. If I could find a way. Do you remember the video to this song?
Oh, yeah.
She was strutting around on a battleship in fishnets.
Oh, yes.
In front of her son. Is this I Think I'm Turning Japanese by the Vapors?
No. You asked for this. You asked for Luca by Suzanne Vega.
Oh, yeah. My name is Luca. I live on the 2nd floor. Do they have Tom's Diner with Suzanne Vega featuring DNA? Oh, this is Nina. 99 Love Balloons. Is this the German version or the American version?
American.
American, yeah. She wrote this song in the diner that was used as the street shot for Seinfeld when they were sitting in the diner.
Really?
Yeah. Same diner.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes. The flags go up. Churning and burning.
Going
they yearn
cake,
for the
going the distance.
They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank.
This is Bittersweet Symphony.
Right, yes.
By The Verve.
Right. Is it 2004? Oh, digital remaster. Because I'm sure tons of people wanted that. Oh, God, the cello's so good now.
I don't even hear the cello.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one.
Oh, the Smashing Pumpkins, 1979. Is this White Snake?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That shows their biography. Weird. He's the Deep Purple vocalist. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Same group.
Right. What was I going for? Oh, yeah.
My woman Tokyo. Here's my pick for the worst, or the third worst comic movie of all time.
Give it to me.
It's a Batman and Robin.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car. This is why Superman works alone. Batman will watch his beloved Gotham perish.
Just what I had in mind. Everything dead on Earth except us.
Yes. Girl of my dreams. She wants to kill you, Dick. Yeah. It's my rules that keep us alive, and you will abide by them. Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Alicia Silverstone, a Joel Schumacher film, Batman and Robin.
From 1997, this flamboyant Joel Schumacher spectacle brought an end to the series of films, started with Tim Burton's 1989 summer blockbuster. From the nipples on the bat suit, Batman whipping out a bat credit card,
And historically terrible lines from Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. This is easily one of the worst comic films ever.
Bane, Bane, Bane.
Oh, yeah. And
I'm telling you.
Bane.
It's a precursor to what's going to happen next summer.
No.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I don't think so. I don't think it can be as bad as Batman.
Oh, it won't be
and
that
Robin.
bad. Don't get me wrong, but bad is the key word here.
Number 2, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Christopher Reeve donned the blue tights one more time in this flop from 1987.
Effective immediately, I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
The greatest threat to Superman is Lex Luthor.
Smarter than I thought. We can make the world safe for war profits. You'd risk worldwide nuclear war for your own personal financial gain. Nobody wants war. I just want to keep the threat alive.
Dude of Steel. Where are you gonna get it?
Superman 4, Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Jackie Cooper, John Cryer, with Mariel Hemingway and Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Superman 4, his most important adventure, the quest for peace.
The last 25 years, a lot have been made about why this movie was so bad. It was produced by Cannon Films. At the time Superman 4 was being produced, Cannon had 50 other films in development.
Wow.
And didn't have the budget needed to make a true Superman movie. Over 45 minutes of the film was left on the cutting room floor at release because there was no money to add special effects that were needed.
I did not know that.
As a matter of fact, in Superman 4, he takes on Nuclear Man. Nuclear Man, it's almost like the Bizarre storyline. Lex Luthor, if you don't know, gets Superman's DNA from a hair that's holding like a 1,000-pound ball up. It's a lock of Superman's hair. Lex Luthor gets it and then, puts it in a lunchbox and shoots it to the moon or sun. I'm so frustrated with this movie. I can't even
You can't even speak. You're speaking Simlish.
My last one, the worst comic movie of all time. Captain America. 19 years before this summer's hit came this lame adaptation of the Marvel hero.
Happens to be the best damn candidate out of 600 volunteers.
A secret experiment gave one man the strength of 100.
The rest of the world, he's just codenamed Captain America.
Only he could defeat a superhuman madman.
They got a fella called the Red Skull heading up their outfit. All we can hope to get in there is one good man.
Yeah, he's still alive. We don't know where he is or who he is.
Now, an evil genius is on the verge of global domination.
Captain America, you gotta help us.
Ronnie Cox, Ned Beatty, Darren McGavin, Kim Gillingham, Scott Pollan as the Red Skull, and Matt Salinger as the Marvel Comics hero, Captain America.
That's the trouble. The cast, I don't know who that is.
Ned Beatty?
Okay.
When your star is Ned Beatty and Ronnie... nothing against Ned Beatty. He's a fine actor.
Right. My favorite person from that trailer was the guy speaking.
Yeah.
He's my biggest fan.
Ronnie
My biggest
Cox.
fan. Yeah, exactly.
He's the best damn man going. What? Worst comic movie of all time, Captain America.
That was
right. It was actually released in theaters.
I have seen that one. That was some bad effects, people. I love this song somewhat too much for a non-redneck man. Oh, wow.
I've seen Molly Hatchet live.
Do you know they're named after? Have you really? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Named after a legendary southern prostitute who allegedly beheaded and mutilated her clients.
I've actually heard that before.
Wow.
I saw him live in 2002.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Not good. Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good. Or is this Marty McFly?
This may be a cover band.
There's a man who fears a life of danger.
It's almost the James Bond theme, but not quite.
Yeah.
Can we harmonize on this?
You want?
This is the Mamas and the Papas.
This is Mamas and the Papas.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray.
Hold on a second. Wait, is this Wilson Phillips?
Yes.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like
Oh, here it go.
Free your mind.
You know, I met the girls of In Vogue once.
Really?
Said, you're some of the loveliest ladies I've ever met. You know what they said?
What's that?
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna. I had a big crush on In Vogue. Oh, wow. Not so much Salt and Pepper.
Really? Really?
You gotta push it. Push it real good.
What about on these?
Uh-huh.
You a chili kind of guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I like TLC back in the day when they had the condoms in there.
Yeah. There's a good one.
This reminds me of Behind the Music. That was before tragedy struck TLC. Boys to Men. All your light rock favorites on Mix 92.9. Hey, it's Jay Patrick. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Got a great lunch hour coming up. And tickets for you to see Peter Gabriel at TPAC.
How about this? A little less big time.
I've been stretching my mouth to let those big words come right.
This is weird.
How many times has this song been sampled?
I wanna rock right now.
Rob Bass, thank you.
Internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid.
Do you have buttermilk biscuits?
Oh, I love some Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Uh-huh.
Love Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Now I'm your big mall dropper.
Wow, I heard this in a long time. Damn.
Buttermilk.
Wow. I love this song. Oh, another we haven't heard in a while either.
I'd been married a long time ago.
That is the sigh of 1992, wasn't it?
It really was. That's good. I went with Jimi Hendrix as the greatest guitar
And I
player.
almost did myself.
You did. I mean,
Yeah.
he was number 2 on your list.
Yeah,
And you went with Buckethead.
I did. And I still stand by that
A fairly modern guitar player.
Yeah, and I stand by that decision. Would you agree that a good guitarist would be better on his own instead of having to live off the hype of the band itself? You know what I'm saying?
When you listen to Derek and the Dominoes,
right?
What do you notice? Can you even name anybody else in Derek and the Dominoes?
But when these
Cream, name somebody else in Cream.
When these big guitarists have
or
solo,
the Yardbirds.
When these big guitarists from these big bands have
Right.
solo careers and solo albums, they flop. They don't do well at all, and they can't make. But
You mean like Carlos Santana?
But it's not good. And we're talking about his. Okay, so that's what I'm giving you the numbers here for. Okay.
All right, let's get some Buckethead numbers.
Here we go.
Because I'm actually trying to come to your defense.
Yeah, right. So,
but you're making it very difficult.
No, but I've got numbers to show you.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.